We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the mainstream media. I'm messing up because I'm excited. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. And I don't know where to start. First of all, RIP Jesse Jackson. This was really crazy that he died. It was like, I just put the video out about Jesse and Trump on, what was that, Thursday or Friday of last week. I get up in the morning, Tuesday, my phone blowing up that he didn't die. Crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have the White House Black History Month reception. Very, very good. If you've seen it, I know you liked it. If you have not seen it, we're going to see quite a few clips tonight. And we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Zohran Mamdani wants to raise taxes in New York City. Not surprising. He went from free to, hey man, I'm gonna need about 9.5% on top of your already existing property tax and or a wealth tax. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Do you know anything about history? Do you know anything about geography? Are you a moron? Do you want to be in the Senate? Do you want to be in the government? Or do you want to head back to the actual bar where you were a bartender? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jasmine Crockett sounding smart. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a bit going on, actually. Hey, midterms are about here, and it's getting funny already. Hey, I told y'all, these Democrats, very, very desperate. Shout out Jasmine Crockett. I got to defend her on this episode because there was an attempt. Well, let me just say this. Before I go into Black History Month and everything else, just right quick, Jasmine Crockett. So Jasmine is facing off against James Talarico in a Democratic primary to try and get the Senate seat from Corbin. I think his name is John Corbin. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. The senator. Hold on. Who's a Texas senator? Who's the Texas senator? Cornyn, not Corbin. Cornyn, John Cornyn. Okay, so you have Jasmine Crockett up against James Talarico on the Democratic side trying to be the nominee to get that Senate seat. And on the Republican side, you have James Cornyn, again, running as the incumbent, Ken Paxton, and Wesley Hunt. Now, Ken Paxton is leading. That's a different story. Wesley Hunt is kind of in the way. In my humble opinion, he has no chance. I like Wesley. Shout out to him, Black conservative, but that ain't really going to happen. Okay, so what happened with Jasmine Crockett is that her opponent, James Talarico, went on Stephen Colbert's show, did an interview, but they didn't air it. And James Talarico's team is blaming Trump and the federal government because they use the FCC to block it. But what the FCC really did was tell CBS that you must give Jasmine Crockett equal time because the rule states if you have an FCC license, then you must give equal time to candidates on your platform because you don't want to be just favoring one side or the other because at that point you've become a propaganda arm of whatever political party you're trying to help. In this case, they would have become the political propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. That'd be unfair. Well, not even, pardon me. They would have become the propaganda arm, not just of Democrats, but of James Talarico specifically. So you can't do that if you have an FCC license. You must give candidates equal time. So if you interview James Talarico, you must also interview Jasmine Crockett. And they must have equal time. Rather than giving Jasmine an invitation to come interview They just declined to interview her, and they didn't air James Talarico's interview. But what they did do was put it on YouTube. And since there's so much attention on the story, the interview got more views than it would have gotten on television and on YouTube combined without the controversy. You see how that works? So it's getting crazy already. It's getting funny already. People are weird already. So that's no surprise. We've seen how these elections go. When people get dirty with this, the political stuff make people get real dirty. I'm talking about super dirty. And that's why it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And people, the general public, understand this, which is why certain people are not built for this position. They're telling Jasmine Crockett, you're not built for this position. They're telling her that without telling her that. Okay, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I just want to pay my respects right now, Jesse Jackson, RP Jesse Jackson. Listen, Jesse Jackson, I was not a fan of his politics. I didn't agree with him on his methods to help Black Americans, but I appreciate the effort to help Black Americans. I really do. I appreciate his effort. I appreciate what he tried to do. Okay, I really do. All those guys back then, MLK, Malcolm, Fred Hampton, all these guys, I appreciate what they tried to do. Were they perfect? No. They didn't make some crazy big mistakes? Absolutely. All of them did. But I thank them for their efforts. Now, what I think Jesse and MLK would want is for the newer generation to be better than they were. And they may not necessarily recognize what better is, because all they were able to accomplish is whatever they accomplished. All they were able to do politically is whatever they could do politically. They got to a certain point and it's like, okay, I don't have any more. Let's pass the torch to the ABLs of the world, to the Kenneth Owens of the world, to the Brandon Tatums of the world. Let's pass the torch to the newer generation and see what they do with it. So we're going to take it from here. Okay, I appreciate your efforts, but now it's our turn. Now we're going to be the ones in charge, and we're going to lead the next generation to be better than us. And the objective is for each generation to get incrementally better. We came a long way as Black Americans since, 100 years ago. Think about, this is 2026, right? Think about where we were in 1926. Just think about that. Like, I had grandparents that were alive back then. I heard some of these stories. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Think about how far we've come in that period of time. And we're not done. We're going to keep on going. People say you got problems with crime and violence. Imagine nobody in a community knowing how to read at all. Nobody. You're talking about literacy rates in all of Black America that were worse than sub-Saharan Africa. Now, certain parts of the country can get bad like that, like Baltimore, but I'm talking about all of us. Nobody could read. Reading was a thing that was kind of a new concept, because remember, for the whole entirety of slavery, the predominant law was to prevent slaves from being educated. Now, there were some incidents of slaves being educated and Black folks buying their freedom, but for the vast majority of slaves in captivity, it was illegal to teach them how to read, to educate them at all, beyond educating them about what their actual skill was. Whatever their trade is. Okay, here's how you pick cotton. Here's how you make clothes. Here's how you, run this kitchen. Here's how you are going to be a carpenter. Here's how you're going to be a blacksmith. Here's how you're going to be this, that, and the third. We were educated as far as our skills were concerned, but not with any kind of book smarts. So then it comes the end of slavery, and there's nobody teaches us anything. We're just pretty much just out here trying to do whatever we can. And as years progress, without that consistent education about the skills or with the academics, you got a bunch of lost people. So from 1926, when we were in that state, post-slavery, trying to get things back together, think about how far we've come in that period of time. It's going to be a big difference. And it took guys like Jesse and others to help. It took those guys to help. Now, some are going to say that he did the wrong things. Okay, I get it. But who else is going to do it? It can't be on one hand, okay, you guys got to do for yourself. You're free now, do something for yourself. And then at the same time say, well, you guys got to do it the way we want to do it. We got to do it, period. However it gets done, we got to do it. Somebody got to do something. And like I said, we're going to get better and better as the generations progress. So RIP Jesse Jackson, RIP to him. He has some interesting politics. He's gone back and forth. At first, he was a big fan of Trump, and Trump was a big fan of his. And one thing about Trump, not to make it be about Trump specifically, but I want to talk about Trump for a minute here, because Trump was always, in my humble opinion, one of us. Let me show you a picture. Just before we even get any further, let me show you a picture right quick, just so we understand what's going on. Because I want people to really get it. Now, this is the Trump that I remember growing up. Okay, this is Trump I remember growing up. This picture was taken while I was living. I might have been a little boy, but I'm sure I was alive. I'm born, 1984? This is most certainly after 1984. So this is who I remember. He reminds me of your white cousin that then grew up with you, your white frat member, okay, your white Q dog or something like this, okay, your white Q dog, shout out to the Qs. That's who Trump always reminded me of. He was always an honorary black person. He was always a friend to the black community. He always looked out for us for as long as I can remember, going all the way back to the 80s. Do you know that he gave Jesse Jackson free office space in 40 Wall Street, Trump Tower, New York City? Free office space right there in Manhattan. Imagine that. Hey, try to live in the shoebox in Manhattan for anything less than like $3,000. He had free office space in Trump Tower. Okay. Speaking about boxing, he was one of the main guys who supported Mike Tyson and Don King because a lot of the fights were at the Trump Casino, I believe, with Atlantic City, if I'm not mistaken. Trump always had our back. He always looked out for us. But since some white liberals got on TV, some white liberals got on TV and said that Trump's a racist and he hates black people, then we just believe it. I don't believe in that. If I see you as somebody that's a friend, I ain't gonna turn my back on you. It's not gonna take, it won't be as easy as some random person that I don't know telling me that you are a bad person. I wanna watch you, your actions, what you do, how you conduct yourself. I wanna see that from myself rather than taking by somebody else's word for it. I don't do that. And Trump is equally loyal because although in later years, Jesse Jackson was not a big Trump fan, he said a few things about Trump that could be negative. Although Jesse did that, Trump never acted funny. He never changed his mind. He never turned his back on Jesse. He was always like, you know what? That was my friend. He was gregarious. He's a piece of work, always being a loyal friend to Jesse because Jesse was always a good friend to him, even if not always in public. So shout out to Trump and RIP Jesse Jackson. Like I say, I may not agree with his political stance, really, but it doesn't matter because I appreciate his effort to help us in the black community. And I think that everybody should at least appreciate that. And again, he's passed away now, RIP. What was he, 84 years old? Long life. He was on the balcony with MLK when MLK got hit. That's a different story. I digress. But yeah, definitely somebody that should be appreciated, although it's not perfect. And I think Trump was able to do that at the Black History Month celebration. Now, shout out to everybody at the White House right now at the Black History Month reception. A lot of great speeches, fantastic speeches. Some of the things that I said would help us as Americans were spoken about there in a very clear way. The tax on tips and the First Step Act, opportunity zones, these things help Black Americans and all Americans. They really do. And these things were championed at that reception. Now, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about this whole thing is that when people see these clips, when they see Allison Reed Johnson, when they see everyone else at the reception, when they see a bunch of Black folks, MAGA hats on, suit tie, looking nice, looking sharp, looking beautiful, when they see us, what are they going to say? Oh, those bunch of Uncle Toms and coons and sellouts and everything else. Okay, racial slurs, they're going to say. But then they'll say that the Republicans are the racists, that Trump is the racist. Okay, it's like calling somebody else violent as you shoot me. Or you got a big baseball bat, you hit me upside the head. Okay, you guys are violent. Meanwhile, you're getting bludgeoned with an instrument. You bleeding, your head cracked open, your teeth knocked out. It's like, well, I can't tell because right now, you the one beating me up. You the one that got the baseball bat beating my head in. That's the actual violent person, not them. It's a bunch of projection, and really, it's hilarious. So the projection happening with these people is so funny. It's to the point where it's like, do y'all not see yourself? It's almost head scratching. Because to us, it's obvious. To us, it's obvious. It's like somebody who shows up to a particular function and they got crazy makeup on. They're looking like Homie the Clown. They're looking like Pennywise the Clown. They're looking like Bozo the Clown. You understand? Crazy makeup. Everyone sees it except for them. That's kind of how I look at them when they say that we are the racist ones and they're not the racist ones. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, yo, you don't see yourself? You don't understand what's going on? But shout out to everybody who's at the Black History Month reception at the White House. Looks like a grand old time. A lot of good friends there. So shout out to them. All right. But hey, Black History Month off to a pretty good start, at least for our side. Not so much for the other side. And Jesse, to go back to him right quick. One thing I noticed is that your NBC, ABC, all the alphabet letter news outlets have kind of moved past Jesse. It's like kind of an afterthought. It's like, okay, we're going to put out a little tribute. We're going to put out a couple videos and move on. Okay, next thing. Okay, Donald Trump is a fascist. Donald Trump is a racist. Back to the regular scheduled program. Hey, Jesse then died. Let's make 1 or 2 videos on social media and then move on. That's kind of what I'm seeing from the mainstream media. Now, maybe I'm seeing things incorrectly. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm seeing things through the Republican lenses, but I don't think so. I think I'm seeing that the Democrats here, the left, don't really care about Jesse. They don't really care about anything except for when it becomes an opportunity to attack Trump. I saw quite a few videos saying RIP Jesse. I wish it was the orange man instead. So you're going to take the opportunity right there to make it be about trying to hurt Trump or have something happen to Trump, to delete Trump. That's going to be where your mind goes. Totally ridiculous. And then they'll say that Trump is wrong for making it about him when Jesse died. But okay, I got a question. Have you guys ever experienced somebody dying that you know, friend, family member, whatever? Like you knew personally, you had experiences with them, you were hanging out with them, maybe you guys grew up together, maybe it was your relative, your friend, whoever. When they die, what do you think of? All the positive moments, all the positive experiences you had with that person. So then when someone asks you about him, you're going to talk about that. Hey, he was a great guy, love hanging out with him. We used to always go play football in the field, and then when his daughter was born, I was there. It was a beautiful moment. His wife is so nice. She cooked us food. You'll talk about those moments you had with him while they were living that you cherish. That's what I always did. I don't know about everybody else. Maybe people are different. Okay, maybe people are different. When your friend died, you just talk about, I don't know what you say when your friend died, or somebody in your family or something like that. I don't know what you say. Like, what else should you like? Should you just go to the Wikipedia page and read it? Is that what you should do? Okay, so they say, Trump, your friend died. What's your take on him dying? Well, he was a great civil rights icon. He was a great leader. He was with MLK on the balcony. Is that what you're going to say? No, you're going to talk about your experiences with him. So again, RIP Jesse. RIP to him, and shout out to the family for sure. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, Zohran Mamdani. Zohran. Now, I got a question for you guys. Did you think that Zohran Mamdani was going to be able to do all these things, all this, free that, without raising taxes? I mean, because at a certain point, in order to have something for free, it must be paid for. And if you don't have the money to pay for it, then how will it become accomplished? How are you going to do a thing that costs money for free if you don't have money to pay for it somewhere? It makes no sense. You can't just say, we're going to provide this service that costs $18 billion with $0 in the bank. That's not the way it works. So what do you got to do? Either you're going to have to cut services, like, I don't know, sweeping up doo-doo from the ground and snow from the ground. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm seeing videos from New York. It looks kind of third worldish, looking like, Lahore, Pakistan, looking like parts of India. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's homesick. Okay, maybe he's homesick of where he's from over there. And, he wanted a little bit of spice. Like, what makes a place more diverse and more vibrant than doo-doo on the ground? Like California, San Francisco. What makes a place more vibrant than that? I don't know what else could do it. But I'm saying, maybe in order to have these services, you got to raise taxes to do it. Now, he says he's going to raise taxes on the richest Americans in New York City. Now, this means anyone making beyond $1 million a year and corporations. Now, my question is, what will stop these people from leaving? If Mamdani says we're going to have this big, crazy tax hike on you guys specifically, why not just leave if you're able to leave? If I'm a rich guy, I got a big bag of money, and I have an apartment in New York City, and he's talking about, okay, we're going to take, about 2% of that, 3% of that. I was like, I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I'm not paying that luxury tax to stay in this Roach Motel, in this rat race, this rat trap. I'm not paying that amount of money to stay here. I'm going to go to Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to go to Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to stay up there around that way. I'm going to go to hang out with Trump down in Florida. I'm not going to stay and pay all that money in New York City just to have worse services overall, doo-doo on the ground. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want that. Okay, I'm not paying to have these big super rats. Hey, I saw one of these rats. Hey, the rat was so big. I like, man, is that AI? It looked like a baby walrus. A baby walrus just out on the street with some Timberland boots and the fitted on. Yo, what up, son? I'm the walrus, son. It was humongous. I'm like, man, y'all rats are ridiculous here. Y'all that got a whole new species of rodent out there in New York City. And here come this guy talking about we're going to raise taxes. And if they can't raise taxes on the richest people in the city, they're going to raise property taxes on all New York City residents by, not to, it's a difference. They could raise it to 9.5%. No. They're going to raise it by 9.5%. So whatever the tax is now, you're going to have 9.5% on top of that. It's going to stack. Man, look, I'm not staying. It's not worth that much money to stay up there with them kind of conditions. And shout out to my New Yorkers. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you guys for being who you are. And I love the way you guys talk. I'm walking here. Oh, I love that. The black dudes in Harlem, the white dudes, Staten Island, the Italians, the Irish, the Jays, everybody. You guys are the Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. Shout out to all you guys. But I'm not paying that much to be up there. And I don't think the majority of you guys would pay that luxury tax to live in New York City either. I'm just saying, who would want to pay that? Listen, here in Tennessee, no state income tax at all. New York City, you're going to have higher property tax, state tax, federal tax, this tax, that tax, bad tax, green tax, blue tax. You're going to be taxed to death to the point where it's like California. And you already know what California is like. Gas, $4 on the low end, houses. You're going to pay $500,000 to live in the ghetto with bars on your window. $500,000 American dollars to live in a home in the ghetto with bars on the window. I would never. Looking like Johannesburg, South Africa. This is the United States of America. This is a first world country. This is not South Africa. This is not some other kind of random podunk place. It shouldn't be janky like that. It shouldn't be so ramshackle like that. It should be the United States. Where I live, hey, it's beautiful. It smells good. Got nice flowers and just scenery. It's great. It's America. And Appalachia. Over on the left coast, man, it's kind of weird. You got beautiful scenery, great scenery. Horrible people, horrible leadership. So yeah, shout out to, hold on, let me get something to, got a little trickle right there. Hey, the devil is busy trying to keep me from preaching, but he ain't going to make it, amen. He ain't going to make it, amen. But shout out to you guys in New York City. Hopefully everything works out with Zohran. I hope it does. But if it doesn't work out with Zohran Mamdani, I don't want to be that guy, but I told you so. Listen, I don't want to be that guy, but I told you so. We all told you so if things don't work out. Now, to defend Zohran a little bit, there was a migrant crisis that happened to him, and Eric Adams said it's going to be about $12 billion you're going to have to deal with in the future because of the deficit. and the deficit is about $12 million. And they said it's about 5.5. I mean, not million, billion. Eric Adams said you will have a $12 billion with it be a $12 billion deficit because of the migrants. Now, it's about 12 billion right now, although some say it's like 5.5 billion. They're going to do little tricks with the numbers. Oh, well, we got this fund to be able to contribute to it and that fund. They're going to try to finagle it to where it's only 5.5. They said it was 12, but now it said it's 5.5. But the reality is it's still $12 billion. They got to come up with some kind of way. They say they have 7 billion secured, but it's still 5.5 short. What does that mean? Like I said, tax hike on the rich or you, regular everyday people. That's just what it is. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. Okay, Rockvolution 2 says ABL wants to keep the devil away. Me and my question is the word of God. Why you gotta do that, bro? Like, why you gotta like attack me for my faith? Just have your faith and enjoy that. Don't attack me for mine. See, one thing I don't do on this channel is talk too much religion because people get like, I'm already political. That's already a hot button, and religion is even worse. So I try to avoid that because people get really offended and there's no way to really determine who's right or who's wrong because everybody has their own opinion. If you have Bible study ever, then you would know people that are on the same page, that go to the same church with the same faith, don't always agree about what their own book says. So why would you agree with me, a guy that you don't really fellowship with? We're not going to the same church. Why would you agree with me? We're not going to agree. So what's the point in having the conversation? I don't get it. That's why I'm not really religious, because stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys for sharing your opinion. I really do. All right. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Tazante says just raise taxes on the companies that haven't left yet. Well, that's what they want to do. that's what they're trying to do. The wealth tax on corporations and those that beyond $1 million a year. And my thing is, okay, if you're a small business and you gross more than $1 million, how much do you actually make? You might not make too much of anything. So is this tax going to be on gross, net? How does it really work? Is it going to be a tax on profits? I don't understand how this whole thing is going to work. Ultimately, what I know is that these things just drive people away, and they're going to reduce the quality of life in the city. You're going to see a reduction in services, a reduction in quality of life. Overall, it will be a worse place to live in. If you don't cut spending and spend on things that actually make sense for the city to function, it's going to cease to function. The leering tax. You guys are funny. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Before we go any further, talking about Jesse Jackson, the White House celebration, we got a few things to say. First of all, shout out to you guys for watching. You are our first sponsors, as always, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to Cameo. If you want a special message from me, go to cameo.com, search Anthony Brian Logan, ABL. I'll pop up. You can also search me in the description. That's Anthony Brian Logan. Also, please go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. You got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have a long article for each long form video that I produce. And in each article, I got my sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, political, agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll find my email address, my SNML address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never gonna call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you are being contacted by me, You're probably not if you did not reach out to me first with the email and I respond back. And again, the email's on the website, and the email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you're not hearing from that email, it's not me. So please don't send money. Don't send no money on. Don't send anything. Gift cards, cash, gifts, tips. Don't send any items at all to anyone. Don't do it because you are being scammed. It's 2026. We don't have time for that. We got the midterms coming. Okay, 2028. With Marco Rubio, but you about to get President Rubio. Okay, Marco Rubio's 15th job will be as president of the USA. We got to prepare for that. We don't have time to be getting scammed. And y'all know where they're going to be coming from. It's going to be a dude with 18,000 other dudes in one room, in one building, somewhere in India. Okay, don't nobody got one flip-flop between them, barefoot, wife beater. A little sorry, he gonna be on the phone like that, trying to be me. It's not me, okay? Or to be a white dude over in Kiev, Ukraine, eating tomatoes for no reason. Not tomatoes, potatoes, some barley, drinking beer for no reason. It'll be that guy trying to scam you, or to be a guy that might look like me. They might even get an ABL clone over there in Nigeria. I done seen quite a few Nigerians who look the exact same in the face. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my cousins from over across the water. Hey, they might get one of them to try to scam you, but I do not sound like this. You're going to hear a voice. It will not be my voice. It'll be a criminal. It'll be a hoodlum coming to take your money. Do not do it. It'll be the wrong decision. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Now let's get to Jesse Jackson. And again, RIP to him. I don't agree with his politics, really, but I appreciate his efforts to help Black Americans because we sure needed it. And a lot of us still do. And like I said before, I don't do too much squabbling with people because I know that there's a lot of ignorance going on, like an education going on. I'm here to teach. I'm here to educate. And I think Jesse, in his own way, was trying to do the same thing. Okay, let's check him out.
I am somebody.
I am somebody.
Respect me. Protect me. Never neglect me. I am somebody. Nobody will save us from us, for us, but us. I may be unskilled, but I am somebody.
In my mind can conceive it, and my heart can believe it. I know I can achieve it.
I am somebody. I am God's child.
Red and yellow, black and white, we're all precious in God's sight.
Stand up. Push on. Stand up. Push on. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? I am somebody.
All right, there we go. So that's Jesse Jackson right there. I cannot say that name right without stuttering. It's too many J's and A's and all of that. It's a mess. Okay, I'm going to just call him Jesse because I ain't going to be stumbling and bumbling all night. So RIP to Mr. Jackson. There you go. I can say that without stumbling. But there we go. That was a lot of what he was known for back in the day. Okay, 70s, 80s. Yeah, that's what he was known for back in the day. And he ran for president twice. He ran in 1984 and 1988. And it was one Donald Trump who assisted him in both of his presidential runs, again, in 84 and 88. Here's a commercial from, I believe, 1988. Okay, let's check him out. Hey, Blue, I got you, Blue. Don't worry about it. Hey, I got everything. I have all your questions covered. Just hold on. I got you, boss. This was almost, how many years? This is almost what, like 36 years to the day? Is my math right? 37 years to the day. Nah, 36. Okay, let's know how to count. So it's 2026, my 1988. So 38 years. 38 years. Yep. almost to the date. Yesterday would have been 38 years.
I was facing foreclosure and got a hold of Jesse, and we got a telegram to our local banker. He offered to come sit down at a mediation table and try to work this thing out between myself and my bankers. And we wound up going through some reorganization, giving some things back, but we still got every acre, and we're going to farm, and we're going to continue to farm. But we couldn't have done it without Jesse, and we need him.
There we go. Now, those hats look awfully familiar, don't they? Those hats look very familiar. Is it just me? Am I tripping? Am I seeing things? They look very familiar. I'm just saying. Again, this was 1988. Okay? Presidential campaign for our guy, Jesse. And again, RIP. You can see the logo right there. See? 1988. And I wonder how much of this came from Donald Trump's pocket. Y'all let me know. Just let me know. All right, let's keep going here. Now, Jesse Jackson was not a big fan of Barack Obama because he did not like the way Obama spoke to black folks, black Americans. Because let's be clear, one thing about Barack Obama, I'm not trying to attack him necessarily. I'm just giving you the reality. Barack Obama is not a black American. Barack Obama is a biracial person who has a white American mother and a black African father who grew up in Indonesia with his white American mother and his Indonesian stepfather, Lolo Sotoro. And then after he was done in Indonesia, he went to Hawaii with his white grandparents. He did not come to mainland USA until he was an adult. He went to Chicago for however many years under the pastor, Jeremiah Wright, learning how to be black. But he still wasn't all the way there. And a lot of the reason why he was able to succeed is because he is one of the Bush's cousins. His mom is related to the Bushes, WHW. I forget the way it was. I think his uncle is George Prescott. Like one of the Bushes. Y'all please correct me about who one of the Bushes is, his uncle or cousin. But yeah, that's why. And Jesse was no fan of Barack Obama. Let's check him out. Okay, they ain't played the whole part, but at the end of it, they said you're gonna do something with his. Hold on, I gotta show you the full clip. They censored it. Okay. Who is that? Lou Dobbs. Come on, Lou Dobbs. Like, really? CNN sucked back then too, I suppose. They ain't show the full clip. Give me 1 second here. Because somebody did ask for that, talking about did he like Barack Obama? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that clip right on up. And if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. There we go. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Let's play this right here. This is from 2008 when Barack Obama ran the first time and won. Okay. And I watched all of this. I saw all of this. I was 24 years old in 2008. I voted in this election. We had a party at our office when Barack Obama won. People were crying, said they couldn't believe it happened. My granddad at the time when Obama was running couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that a black guy would have a chance in winning. He thought Hillary would win. And he died right before Obama became the president. He died thinking that it would never happen. And it did. So it was like an impactful moment for black Americans. But then once you realize what he would actually do in office, it was like, this guy's not very good. This guy kind of sucks.
Presidential nominee Barack Obama. On Sunday, Jackson had just completed an interview with the Fox News channel and made the following comment, he says, in reaction to a recent Obama speech on the morals and responsibilities of African American men. Presidential nominee.
You want to do what, Jesse? You want to cut what? Hey, Lou Dobbs, why you ain't play that part? See, CNN, I think CNN probably sucked for a long time, but we didn't really realize it until the internet came out. And we're like, hey, that was yellow journalism. deceptive editing. Why you don't show the full clip? But anyway, that was his opinion of Barack Obama in 2008. Of course, he changed over the years, but that's what he thought back then. He sure did. It's right on camera. All right. Now, again, here we go with the pictures. That's our guy. The crazy white boy in the hood. That's Donald Trump right there. Y'all know how it go. For all my white guys and white girls that grew up in the hood with me, y'all already know what it is. Don't even try to play games, okay? But again, he was always one of us. We always loved him, respected him, and embraced him until some white liberals got on TV and said that he was a racist. People like Roland Martin, that like white guys play with his booty like he's not gay. People like him want to call Trump a racist. We're not going to pay those people. We're not going to pay them of that ilk any mind. We're not going to do it. We're just going to know what we see with our own two eyes and know it to be true. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right, now let's keep moving here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Okay, this is going to be a video I posted. I'm going to play it again for those who just now coming in. This video I posted Friday the 13th, and Jesse Jackson died on Tuesday, yesterday, 17th. Okay, let's go ahead and play this.
I now want to bring forth a friend who has, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness and his commitment, while his success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it, he gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he's a serious person who is an effective builder of building with a builder of people. Last year, he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
Well, it is an honor to be here, and I was with Jesse last year, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a little different. We had a real panel where you asked questions and everything, and we didn't do so much speaking, so I'm going to get off here very quickly because I want to hear some questions. Jesse started off by saying most of the wealth in this country is in the hands of a few, and I thought to myself, is that a bad thing? What's wrong with that, Jesse? But he did have an expression last year, and I was just telling Roger, he had an expression last year, the wall on wall must fall. And you haven't used it today, and I'm very disappointed in this, Jesse, because I thought it was a great expression. And I heard the expression about 14 times, and then he came to me at the end of the session, and he said, listen, I want some office space in your building on Wall Street, because the wall on wall will fall. And I said, it's okay, Jesse, I'll make a good deal with you. I'll get you some space. You'll pay about $40 a foot. And he said, no, I don't want to pay 40. I said, how about 30? No. It was the cheapest deal I ever made in the history of 40 Wall Street. Is that right? He got it for nothing. He's a very tough negotiator. We know that, right? Nah, he's a terrific guy. We love him, and I'm here for him. And this.
We love him. We're here for him. We had a great time. I gave him free office space. That's the racist? Make it make sense. I don't understand. Now, remember, people said that Trump got sued for not wanting to rent to black people in the 70s. That's what they say, right? And they say he didn't want to rent to black people in the 70s. He's a racist. He didn't want any black folks in his buildings, but yet you give a black man free office space in 40 Wall Street right there in Manhattan in the Trump Tower. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't compute. And if it doesn't make sense at a certain point, it's probably not true. It's most likely not true. And in this case, obviously, it's not true that he's a racist. All right, let's keep on going here. Now, let's fast forward. That video right there was 1996. That was 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Now, let's fast forward 30 years in the future. This is today at the White House for the Black History Month celebration. I've been to these a few times. Always a good time. Always a great time. And you know what? I want you guys, if you watch the news or if you know a person who watches the news, look for how they talk about the black folks in the White House. Nicole Wallace, this is why I hate Nicole Wallace, because when we went to the White House one time, like inside the White House, like at this event, when we went there one time, she said, oh, they were mistreating the East Room and presidents had lied and stayed and they were too rowdy and raucous. I'm like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. So you're saying the black folks are too loud? We having too much fun? We weren't enjoying ourselves too much with the president in the White House? I thought that was what we're supposed to do. It's a party, right? They got food, they got drinks, they got music, they got everything. We having a good time. Why can't we have a good time in our house that we paid for, that my black American ancestors built? Why is that a bad thing, Nicole Wallace? Anyway, I'm getting triggered, but let me just go ahead and digress.
I want to begin by expressing our sadness at the passing of a person who I knew very well. Jesse was a piece of work, I want to tell you. He was a piece of work, but he was a good man. He was a real hero, and I just want to pay my highest respects to Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's a good man. He was actually, as you got to know him, he got better and better all the time. A lot of people, you get to know him, they get worse and worse. Jesse got better and better. But I knew him well long before becoming president, and he really was special with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. You would say Jesse had serious street smarts, right? A very important ingredient to life, I will tell you. He was gregarious and someone who truly loved people and a force of nature. He was somebody that we're going to greatly miss. And on behalf of everyone here today, I know you join me in sending our condolences to the entire family. Had a great family.
There we go. So again, shout out to President Trump. Now, someone asked just now in the comments, when is State of the Union address? That's going to be next Tuesday, the 24th, February 24th, 2026. And I will stream it on YouTube. Okay. That's a great question. Whoever asked that question. So the White House put this graphic up today and you can see what it says. If you can't, I'm going to just read it. President Trump, State of the Union, February 24th, 2026. And the question was asked because you got a government shutdown happening. They were asking, are you still going to do it despite the government shutdown? He says, well, I think that I would. So I'm not sure if the shutdown will affect this, but as of right now, he says, yes, he believes he's going to do it. And it'll be next Tuesday, the 24th of February. And I will stream it live on YouTube. Now, as far as the time, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But by the time we get close to the day, I'll probably know the exact time and I'll schedule a stream so you guys will be able to see it and watch it live with us here on the channel. All righty, let's keep on rocking. Now, here Trump says, we thank Black Americans for helping build the best country on planet Earth. Now, notice how President Trump says Black Americans. Haven't I been saying that for the past few weeks? Black American, not just black, not just person of color, not African, Caribbean, and shout out to all those other groups. Let's be clear, because sometimes people get offended at what I say. They get offended. They say, oh, you want to be known as Black American. You don't want to be considered. You don't want to be part of Africa. Listen, I know my ancestry. Okay. I know it very well. I took my DNA test and I know family members. I see their faces. I know their, I could trace family that we actually knew for real, not just on a website. Going back to early in the 1800s. We know them by name, where they lived, and the whole thing on both sides of my family. I already knew that from the beginning. I knew about my white 2 or 3 times great-grandfather already, who was Irish. We already knew that. The point is that we are our own people in this country, Black Americans. We've been here since 1600s, and we have different mixes in us, plus different culture. I am not an African or a Caribbean or South American or anybody else. I'm an American, and I happen to be Black. That's just what it is. But my ancestry, if you want to talk about that, is not just quote unquote African and whatever that means, because when slavery happened, I'm sorry I'm preaching, but when slavery happened, it wasn't no place called Nigeria, was it? Was there a place called Nigeria in 1619? I'm trying to understand. Was there a place called Ghana, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire? Did that exist in 1619? Did Liberia exist in 1619? Because that was a place founded by freed Black slaves. It wasn't no Liberia. These are new places, new denomination. Like, that's one thing. And then beyond that, how about my European ancestry? I may ignore that. How about my Asian ancestry, my Native American? How do I ignore that? We're Black Americans, and that's a real ethnic group that should be respected. And Trump does respect the group. Let's hear from him.
But we thank God for the strength and courage and grit and devotion of Black Americans who have helped make America the most powerful country in the history of the world. But we thank God for the strength and courage and grit and devotion of Black Americans who have helped make America the most powerful country in the history of the world.
There we go. MG says, ABL, I saw a doppelganger of you out here in my city today, here in California. I don't doubt it. I've seen quite a few people that look just like me in the street. Yeah, I've seen quite a few doppelgangers. You know, Black Americans, we got similar ancestry, come from similar places. You're going to see a few, doppelgangers. And even just a general West African will look similar to me, even without being African American. All right. But Black American, yeah, for sure. You're going to see some twins out here. Okay. Now, he also recognized Jim Brown, RIP Jim Brown, NFL Hall of Fame football player. He recognized Jim Brown, who passed away in 2023. Okay, let's watch this right quick.
The guy that became really, he liked Trump, Jim Brown. He was, he'd come in, he was very silent. He was silent but deadly. He'd come in and he'd look at people, and if he didn't like them, he'd just look at me and he'd go, no good. I would say there can't be a greater football player than Jim Brown.
There we go. So, always a big fan of Jim Brown, always a friend of him as well throughout the years, and never switched up, always stayed loyal, always stayed true. Now, here are some of the accomplishments that he's done for Black Americans since coming into office. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out, because there's some lies out there talking about, oh, the Black unemployment rate has risen. Has it really risen? Has the Black unemployment rate risen? Has Black unemployment risen? That's two different things. I got a fun fact for you guys. You ready? Now, let's look at the workforce participation rate. In 2020, the Black rate was about 60.1 or so. The white rate was like 63.1. It was much higher than the Black rate. Now, 2026, the Black workforce participation rate is higher than the white workforce participation rate. Then you believe it? It's actually higher. So when people say that Trump is not helping Black Americans, that he's not doing anything for us, that unemployment is rising, I can't tell. How are we suffering when our workforce participation rate is higher than it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 1 year ago, and it's higher than white Americans? Make it make sense. The only ones with a much higher rate in the workforce are Hispanics. Of course, right?
That more Americans are working today than any time in history. And since I took office, African American employment has increased by 182,000, the highest ever. Jobs. 182,000. Nearly 500,000 Black Americans have rejoined the labor force since we took office. 500,000 wages for workers have increased $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000, and even sometimes in some cases $5,000 a year. That's faster than inflation. So wages have gone up at a much faster clip than inflation. We took over the worst inflation in the history of our country. They say 48 years or 49 years. I said that, I said inflation under Biden has went up more than at any time in the history of our country. They said, he's not right about that. It's 49 years. I said, all right, I'll accept that too. Actually, I think it sounds worse, Harmeet. I think for some reason, because when you say the worst ever, but when you say the worst in 49 years, I'll take that, right? The fake news got me on that one. I think I was right, by the way, but I'll accept 48 or 49 years. But for the first time in many years, 100% of all net job creation is going to American-born citizens. Think of that, 100%. And in the last administration was going mostly to illegal aliens that came in, many of them murderers and others.
Exactly, which is why I say, hey, if you see any suspicious activity, if you see anything that looks kind of crazy, call 188-DH2. Hold on, I gotta say it right. Call 188-DHS2-ICE. Again, one more time, so mess it up. If you see anything suspicious, any kind of crazy activity, could be some kind of illegal aliens, migrants doing something they shouldn't be doing, call ICE at 188-DHS2-ICE. Call them. And that's why I said that was the biggest thing, the migrant crisis, because they did so much to this country that was negative. The crime they brought with them, the disease they brought with them, overcrowding schools, fighting for jobs and resources and stuff like that, scamming the system. It was just a whole big mess, a whole big crazy mess. And I'm glad that Trump has ICE out there to fix the problem and we got the border locked down. I'm so glad. And now Americans could go back to work. Americans can come back to work. Okay, now watch. This is going to be fantastic. This Washington, D.C. resident, Felicia Cook, she lost her grandson to murder. Now, when others wanted to ignore her, tell her to be quiet, shut up, or whatever about her grandson and others that were being killed in D.C., other young black men that looked like me being killed in D.C., when others told her to be quiet, Trump was one who listened to her cries and did something about it.
One thing I like about him, he keeps it real, just like Grandma. I appreciate that because I can trust him because he tells exactly how he feels and what he thinks. Thank God for this president. I am filled, my cup runneth over. Because he allowed his constituents, his people to come to my house to interview me, to talk about the murder of my grandson. It seemed like nobody cared. I'm an advocate for murder. I marched. I rallied. I pulled out other families in the District of Columbia that had murders and did not have answers. Ooh. We marched and we rallied, and nobody heard me, Democrats. Get mad at me. Until this Republican sent his constituents, his people out there to interview me in my home. Have you ever heard of a thing? Then they invited me twice before Congress to testify for the beautiful bill that's going to change crime in the district. If you kill somebody, okay, you take a life, you do life. Just that simple. If you do a harsh crime, you do harsh time. Just that simple. And then we need National Guard, and which we did years ago. He brought it on. I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news, hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him. And Grandma said it.
You gotta love it. You got to love it. I love it. Shout out to Grandma. That was fantastic. Right on point. Right on point. Now, again, watch the news. If they cover her, which they probably don't want to cover her, because what you gonna say? You gonna try to attack her? You want to call her retarded, like she don't know nothing? That she just don't understand what's happening in her own area in DC? You gonna try to do, like, what are you gonna do to actually say something negative about that? If they do cover it, watch how they cover it, observe how they cover it, listen to what words they use and how they describe her and how they try to be dismissive. If they are dismissive, just watch, take a look. Now, anyway, let's keep moving here. This woman says the no tax on tips was a godsend. And I told y'all that it would be. I told y'all no tax on tips would be big because I was a restaurant guy. I did 5 years Old Country Buffet. You already know my story. And I would talk to the waitresses outside and the waiters, and they would tell me how much they made and how much it could really help them to just keep cash and try to keep stuff off the books because they need all that money, whatever they can get. So to not have the tax on tips is tremendous. That's huge for them. For somebody working at a restaurant, relying on tip wages, it's a big thing. All right, let's go ahead and check this out.
I can't do anything first but say to God be the glory. Amen. I have no business being here other than him having me here. And so, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to preach. I'm going to settle myself. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me here. It's such an honor to be here today. Hebrews 11:1. People ask me all the time, why did I even open a business? Why did I even call it Hebrews 11:1? Hebrews 11:1 is my very favorite scripture. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That scripture has walked with me. It has grown me from a little girl on up. Not having no longer my mother here, no longer having my father here. My husband not having his mother and his father here. We opened Hebrews 11:1 with no funding, no money, no big family investors, no business loans, didn't have great credit. It was us and faith in God. That was 7 years ago. But I ran that business with just myself and one employee. Then here comes no tax on tips. I was able to hire 7 more employees just by what she did. Not only that, I was able to open a second location on our college campus. Things are just going off simply because having now faith. And so I love the fact of that scripture. Now, I say all of that I'm trying to stick to my little written down thing that I wrote. I don't know how to do that so well. But as a small business owner, I understand how critical support is. I understand that you have to have the right people that make the right policies for us as small business owners. So no tax on tips has been an extreme blessing for me and my business. Not just mine, but I know so many people across the country. I know a lot of us don't want to talk about the good part of it. We only want to share the negative, but I'm here today to tell you you've done a great thing. Thank you for just loving on us and showing us that even in small town Hope, Arkansas, and I have got to say this, I have the best governor in the world. I don't only just call Sarah my friend, I call her my sister. And so that's why I am here today to just tell you that no tax on tips has been an amazing blessing for me. President Trump has been an amazing blessing for me. And at the end of the day, Jesus has been an amazing blessing for me. I love you guys and thank you so much because I am a youth pastor, but I will not preach on today. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There we go. Hey, fantastic speeches. Fantastic, amazing speeches. Now, I'm not going to play all of them. I got a couple more maybe, but I'm going to do a compilation tomorrow. So look out for that video coming tomorrow. Long form video. Now you got like long form videos. I'm going to do like a 20 or so minute compilation of all of the greatest speeches and the moments and everything from the White House Black History Month celebration. And I'm also do a video about Jasmine Crockett and the whole James Talarico situation. So look out for that tomorrow. That's a little quick sneak preview of my content for tomorrow. All right, now I got one more here, just a little quick clip. Then I keep on rocking. Hey, we got a chant of 4 more years from the White House Black History Month reception. And of course, you got a majority, 99.9% black crowd, okay? 4 more years. Check it out. There we go. 4 more years. I mean, realistically, no, but we're just saying, hey, we appreciate what you have done. You've been a great president, and we want to keep the party going. Now, 4 more years for me would mean Marco Rubio. It'd be, hey, just Trump. Trump already got Marco doing all the jobs as a president. Just go in there and just make an easy transition. Okay, you don't got to change nothing. You just going to keep on working. All right? Now, let's keep rocking and rolling here. So somebody asked me earlier about State of the Union address. I just want you to hear from Trump that he is likely to do it. And again, that'll be next Tuesday, February 24th, 26th. Okay, check them out.
Will you give your State of the Union speech if we're still in a shutdown next week?
Well, I think I would. Wouldn't bother me. I would give it, yeah.
There we go. So shout out to Trump. What happened to JD? Nothing happened to JD, but I like Marco Rubio better. I think I'm not alone in that. I think everybody likes Marco Rubio, to be totally honest with you. You know, I mean, it ain't, nothing against JD, but Marco is the guy. It is what it is, in my opinion. If they run JD, it's okay. I'll vote for him, but I want Marco. That's who I want. Now, let's move forward here. Somebody in the White House press briefing room asked, when has Trump ever been called a racist? Like somebody really said, when has Trump ever been called a racist? All right, let's go ahead and check this out.
In his statement about Jesse Jackson, the president said, despite the fact that I'm falsely and consistently called a racist by the scoundrels and lunatics on the radical left, Democrats all, it was always my pleasure to help Jesse along the way. Where or when does the president believe he's been falsely called racist?
You're kidding, right? No. I will pull you.
Look, everybody start laughing. That's how you know how dumb the question is. It's like, come on. They call Trump a racist every single hour on the hour, like it's a church bell, like it's a cuckoo clock. That's how much they call. And it's even beyond that. For every sand, if you take an hourglass, turn it upside down, for every sand that leaves the top and goes to the bottom, that's how often Trump is called a racist. For every grain of sand that leaves the top of an hourglass and goes to the bottom, it's how often Trump is called a racist. Let's continue.
Plethora of examples. I'm going to get my team in that room to start going through the internet of radical Democrats throughout the years, Ed, who have accused this president falsely of being a racist. And I'm sure there's many people in this room and on network television across the country who have accused him of the same. In fact, I know that because I've seen it with my own eyes. And the president very much looks forward to having an event later this afternoon at 3 p.m. to celebrate Black History Month and to talk about how his policies are advancing opportunity and prosperity for all Americans through record tax cuts, through the Trump accounts that all Americans can access regardless of race. These are a great thing for the next generation of Americans. The president has also awarded hundreds of millions of dollars in additional funding to strengthen educational outcomes at historically black colleges and universities across the country. Again, the president is protecting the hard-earned benefits of the 2.4 million black veterans who honorably served in our nation's armed forces by reducing the backlog of veterans waiting for their VA benefits and for their home loans through the Department of Veterans Affairs. So there is a lot this president has done for all Americans regardless of race, and he has absolutely been falsely called and smeared as a racist, and I'm happy to provide you those receipts, and we gladly will right after this briefing.
There we go. Hey, shout out to Caroline Levitt, hey, our amazing White House press secretary, Caroline Levitt. She's amazing. Amazing. Fantastic. All right. Hey, you know what? I like that we have competent adults in the White House again. I love that. We have actual people in there that know what they're doing. I don't care about what color they are or nothing like that. Can you do the job? Do you know what you're doing? Are you competent? Can you read? Do you know how to speak? Do you know how to do anything other than just be a statistic, a check mark, a color, a gender? Do you know how to do anything beyond that? That's my question. Okay, now let's go to James Talarico. So James Talarico is one of the candidates trying to become the nominee to run for the Democrats in Texas in the Senate race. John Cornyn, a Republican, currently holds the seat, and Talarico's objective is to flip the seat from red to blue. Now, James Talarico's primary opponent is Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is getting a short end of the stick because the Democrats don't want her. They want him because they see him as a guy that can actually win. The problem is they're doing things that are jive illegal or at best is really sneaky, because CBS, Stephen Colbert show, gave an interview to James Talarico, but they did not give one to Jasmine Crockett. And according to the FCC rules, that's illegal because if you have an FCC license like CBS does, you must give candidates in the political race equal time. So if you give one guy an interview and you don't interview the other person, the other candidate, you're violating the law. So what they did was they put the interview on YouTube, and then they made a whole big thing about it, talking about, it's Trump's fault. He don't want you to see this interview. He stick the FCC on me. When in reality, it was CBS, Stephen Colbert, who did not air it because if they did, they violate the law. But by them doing that and making the big controversy and having it kind of go viral, that's going to draw more views to the YouTube video. You see how that makes any, you see how that works? So they still accomplished the goal of trying to X Jasmine Crockett out without violating the law. And again, these are Democrats doing it to each other. It's not Republicans involved. Talarico is a Democrat, but I'm going to just let you check this out right here. You can see the caption, James Talarico, this is an interview Donald Trump didn't want you to see. His FCC refused to air my interview with Stephen Colbert. Trump is worried we're about to flip Texas. Is that what happened, James Talarico, or is what I said happened? See, you can lie to some of us some of the time, but you can't lie to all of us all the time. All righty, let's go ahead and check it out. Well, some of it, like a minute of it. And then I'm going to show you Jasmine Crockett's response, which is actually pretty intelligent, surprising for Ms. Crockett. Let's check it out.
James Talarico.
I'm going to pause for the copyright because they love playing games like that. They love doing copyright strikes or copyright claims because when I talk about it and expose them, it damages reputation, not only of CBS, Stephen Colbert, but also James Talarico and the Democratic Party. So they want to try to play funny and do copyright claims and stuff like that on YouTube. But, hey, that won't happen here, Mr. Colbert. It ain't going to happen. And if you try it, I'm going to fight it and I'm going to beat it.
Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Talarico. Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
James.
Okay, there's more to that, but we ain't going to watch all that. If you want to see the full interview for some reason, it's on YouTube. I'm going to do a video tomorrow in which I'll, show a little bit more. But for now, let's keep on moving. Now, this is what James put up as a post. It says, breaking, our campaign raised $2.5 million in 24 hours after the FCC banned our Colbert interview. So you see what happened? They got more attention and raised more money. And CBS was able to help him more than what they would have if they just gave him an interview and Jasmine an interview. See how that works? And these are Democrats doing it to each other. Now, let's look at this Fox News clip about this.
It's a Texas-sized drama for Democrats with Stephen Colbert in the middle as early voting begins in the high-stakes primary contest for U.S. Senate. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino. Bill Hemmer's off today, and here's...
Big bucks into this crowded contest to unseat Senator John Cornyn, making this one of the most expensive Senate primary races.
Stephen Colbert claims CBS blocked him from broadcasting an interview with one of those candidates by warning it would trigger the FCC's equal time rule.
You know who is not one of my guests tonight? That's Texas State Representative James Talarico. He was supposed to be here, but we were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast.
And Mark Meredith is in Washington with more on all of this. And this show's getting more attention now than it ever has before.
Yeah. Now, I ain't going to play the whole thing here because we got time constraints. So I'm going to play that in my video. But you can see what's going on. They called the lawyers and everything. But the lawyers called them directly. What I want to get to is Jasmine's response. Because we can hear them, pontificate on Fox, which is fine. But I want to hear from Jasmine right quick for time's sake.
we did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided that they would get on the air. And this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been advice to just have me on, and then they could clear the issue. It was my understanding that someone somewhere decided we just don't want to do that, and instead we're going to just do it this way.
There you go. So she's saying the exact thing that I was saying earlier, because all they got to do they could have aired the interview with James Talarico if they gave Jasmine Crockett equal time on CBS. All they got to do, okay, give him an interview, give her an interview. They didn't want to do that because the objective was to put all the chips on the table of James Talarico to make him be the guy and not her on the Democratic side of things. See? Hey, man, it gets really dirty in politics, really, really dirty. Let's keep going.
I think
now we have two guys you may love or you may not love too much, just two guys. You have Dan Bongino and Kash Patel talking about their time with the federales. And I think Kash is still there, right, as the head of the FBI. And Dan Bongino was deputy FBI director. Let's watch.
I think you and I did a pretty good job. You know, it really isn't hard when you focus them on the bad guys.
Well, it's not hard, Dan, as you know, as an 1811 and a former police officer. It's not hard to do the job you signed up for if you're allowed to do the job you signed up for. And President Trump and this administration backs law enforcement and gave us the resources at this FBI and gave us the autonomy in you and I in running this building to remove the red tape, to remove the unnecessary approvals, and to get 1,000 extra agents. That's what we did, Dan. We put 1,000 agents into the field from Washington, D.C. We permanently removed them from the National Capital Region and sent them across to every single field office. And what did that do? It allowed people to hit the streets and investigate crimes, and it led to this. And I know you've seen this, but this is 1 year in the making of true historic reductions in crime. And you're talking about a 20% reduction in murder rate. You're talking about a 32% increase in fentanyl seizures, enough to kill 150 million Americans. Dan, you're talking about 4 top 10 arrests in 1 year, but as soon as you left, I had to add 2 more. So now we're up to 6. You know, I couldn't let it stand at 4. So in 1 calendar year, we arrested 6 of the FBI's most wanted fugitives in the world.
You know what I'm talking about. I was busting my ass on that one, but you know, I was like, you know. So, but hey, good job. Once I saw it on the news, I was proud of you and the guys.
No, you laid it, and you gotta let you know those 6 go to you. You laid the groundwork for it. You work quietly behind the scenes. I'm just telling you. And look, I think the audience should know. I can't even memorize these. I look at these every day, and it's just hard to believe. 490% increase in those who prey upon our children. 490% increase in arrests by the FBI. The FBI under the last year, twice as many increase for violent crime from 24 to 25. Twice as many arrests. That's unbelievable, Dan. These numbers are truly historic, and that was the foundational tectonic shift you and I put into place in the FBI to let the cops go out there and be cops, and this is what happens.
All right, there we go. So what do you guys think? Are you guys a fan of Dan Bongino and Kash Patel or Kash Patel? Y'all let me know. All right, there we go. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. And that was Dan Bongino podcast, of course. Now, Mamdani. Hey, did you guys really think that Zohran Mamdani was going to make everything free and affordable and whatnot in New York City? Did you guys really believe that? Because I most certainly didn't. Okay, I most certainly didn't. Let's look at this right here. It's a a little bit of a contrast between his commercials, between his campaign ads, and what the reality is right now on the ground. Now, I think Zohran's a pretty sharp guy, but his politics are not what he's presenting them as. I see him as somebody that's going to just manage the decline in New York City. It's going to be a managed decline because all the signs point toward that. You're doing things that are intentionally going to drive out the population that actually produce anything in the city. So why are you doing that? Is there a reason? I'm not really sure. Are you trying to thin out the population? Are you trying to get rid of some of these rats and roaches? Are you trying to restructure, rebuild? It's like you have an NBA basketball team and you're tanking to try and get a high lottery pick. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. It's done on purpose, although it appears to be incompetent. But let's go ahead and check it out right quick. The contrast between the commercials and what's happening right now on the ground.
It's true. As your next mayor, I will freeze your rent.
Paid for by Zohran for NYC. And
before they continue, you're going to freeze the rent, free buses, free this, free that, and the logo, the campaign logo, Zohran for an affordable New York City. Okay, keep that word affordable in your mind. Right here in the front of your head. Keep it right there as we watch this part.
In order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other. It's true.
So we got to raid this fund, raid that fund, raise property taxes, all kind of stuff. What happened to free and affordable? What happened to that? Oh, okay. These things you're talking about that are so-called free actually cost money, and the money come from the taxpayer. Oh, okay. Cool. So I can get a free bus as long as I pay for it. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. But hey, such is math. Sometimes it doesn't make sense when the math ain't mathing because you got socialists adding the numbers. Now, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. He's going to reinstate homeless sweeps, which was another campaign promise. We're not going to do any more homeless sweeps. Well, you've had 20 people die out in the street, in the cold, in homeless camps since you have become the mayor. So you going to keep having bodies pile up, or what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to have bodies pile up, or will we force them off the streets like what was done in the past? All right, let's take a look.
The tweets that he's done since the start of his administration, thousands of sweeps have happened since 2024, but no one has been offered permanent housing. And I think the data from May was 114 were offered in shelter. So will you continue the sweeps they were asking you not to?
No.
And the tweets that he's done since the start of his administration, thousands of sweeps have happened since 2024, but no one has been offered permanent housing. And I think the data from May was 114 were offered in shelter. So will you continue the sweeps they were asking you not to?
So that was the first thing. That was the promise. No, we're not going to do any sweeps. But now we got to start doing some sweeps because you got 20 bodies already. Now, look, if you got a squeamish stomach, you don't like seeing certain nasty things, please, turn your eyes right now. But I'm going to show you some of that doo-doo on the ground, okay? You can't really see it up close too much, but it's like a bunch of little pellets. Well, it's big piles, kind of, sort of. So what happened in New York City, before I show the video, what happened was you had all that snow, right? And the snow was just in piles and piles and piles, and it wasn't really going anywhere. I know it's wintertime, it's cold, whatever, I get it. But as the snow piles just stayed there, you got trash being put on top, people's dogs using the bathroom right on top. So now that the snow has partially melted or mostly melted, you got a big mess. Now, for you guys in New York, again, I'm ignorant. I don't know about New York like that. I know a little bit, but I'm not a New Yorker. Is this normal after a big snow and the snow's on the ground, it's on the sidewalk, it's piled up after being plowed? Is it normal to have trash and doo-doo in it, and then when it melts, it's on the sidewalk? I'm trying to understand.
Bro. This sidewalk is filled with shit. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm scared I'm gonna step in it. But y'all, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Pun intended.
Hey, so to my New Yorkers, have you ever seen the city like this with just piles and piles and piles of doo-doo on the ground, on the sidewalk? Have you ever seen that? And again, I'm not a New Yorker, so this might be normal. After a big snow and you got stuff on top and it melts, you got some debris left. But I want to hear from you guys. Is that normal, yay or nay? You'll let me know. Okay. Let's keep on rocking. Now, this is going to be, hold on, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. It said Queens Beep. I don't know what a beep is. B-E-E-P. He's a Queensborough president, okay? So I guess that's what that is. Beep, like borough president. Anyway, this is the Queensborough president, Donovan Richards, speaking out against Zohran's proposed tax hike because it would impact black homeowners negatively. You think? You think? Gee, who couldn't have called that one coming? Anyway, let's check it out. Let's get some sound. And let's let it roll.
She's seniors, our most vulnerable seniors who absolutely done everything. They've built these cities. This was your HRA workers. These are your NYPD officers who really have done everything to build home ownership and generational wealth. And this is certainly a setback if this 9.5% increase happens.
Is it particularly a non-starter to do this before there's any real effort to reform the system, which has been long promised and long overdue?
I agree, and I sat on the property tax task force, so I was encouraged to hear the administration and the mayor speak of some other options on the table, including looking at assessments. So we'll see what Albany comes back with. But the bottom line is we should not arbitrarily put the city's budget on the back of everyday New Yorkers.
BP, thank you very much.
There we go. Okay, so again, that's the borough president, the BP, the beep. What's his name again? Donovan Richards, out there in Queens, New York City. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. Now, Zohran says we're going to find every way to just take the money from the rich people rather than taxing you, the citizen of New York. I say good luck with that, because the problem is no one wants to be taxed higher. Those who are rich, they have money, they have mobility, they'll be better able to avoid this by leaving than someone who is not as rich as they are. So all you're going to end up doing is squeezing the middle class for what they don't have, and they're going to have to leave as well. They're going to have to scrape money together and figure out a way to leave. It's going to be a great migration. It reminds me of back when I was young, and everybody came from New York. Everybody came from New York to Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, North Carolina. Half of my class when I was young at one point was New Yorkers. This might spark a new wave of them to leave, potentially. Let's check it out.
We have a broken property tax system in this city. We have one that can barely stand up in court. And my goal is to reform that system, to work with partners in state government. We have our assembly member here, Eddie Gibbs. We have many other assembly members and senators who have spoken for years about the importance of having a system that is fair. What we are hoping for, what we will spend every day looking towards, is working with Albany to increase taxes on the wealthiest and the most profitable corporations such that a fiscal crisis is not resolved on the backs of working and middle-class New Yorkers. That's what we're going to spend every day working towards, because we want to build a city that makes this one where working people can not only live but can also dream. We have a broken property.
There we go. So, will he be able to get the monions? Will he be able to get the money from these rich people, from these corporations, or will they just evade it? Will they leave? Again, if it was me and I'm in New York, I'm just going to be out. Don't even worry about it. I am out of there. Don't even worry about it. Now, we have yet another transformer shooting people up, this time in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Okay, yet another one. White male, transgender. A lot of times it'd be a young guy does this, a young white guy. It's never, I mean, I'm going to say it's never, but I don't often see the older guys doing stuff like this. So this guy, Robert, aka Roberta, Dorgan. I'm about to say Durango. Dorgan. Robert Dorgan, aka Roberta Esposito. So now you identify as a Latina as well. That's funny. But anyway, this guy shot up his son's ice hockey game, killed the son and his ex-wife. They're talking about some, it's domestic. Oh, okay, so that makes it okay to go shoot up a hockey game. you kill 2 people and you do yourself and you shoot three other innocent people. Anyway.
From his social media profiles, they say he also went by Roberta, so Roberta Dorgan, and sources tell Fox he was dressed in women's clothing when he showed up to his son's hockey game yesterday afternoon. These pictures you're looking at are from months ago, Bill, but witnesses and people we've talked to who were at this hockey game say that this was something that happened pretty often where he would show up in women's clothing.
And it might not be on this arm, but he had an SS tattoo, a Nazi SS tattoo with a skull in the middle. This guy was all over the place. If you go on his social media, he was like pro-MAGA, pro-Trump, but also pro-trans. Make that make sense. Okay? And I've been telling y'all for a long time, the Transformers are dangerous and they could do stuff like this. And their transgender ideology will supersede any kind of political ideology. He could be a left-wing guy, right-wing guy, a libertarian. It don't matter because ultimately your mental illness supersedes that. It supersedes that. It don't even make a difference.
According to documents obtained by our affiliate WPRI, Dorgan had a history of family disputes. So let's get into them. Some involving conflict over his gender identity because he had gender reassignment surgery back in 2020. So WPRI reports that in these court documents, his trans identity led to the divorce with his ex-wife, reportedly detailing, she said, that he had narcissistic and personality disorder traits along with the transition. So his social media profile's under investigation. I want to point this out. Just one day before he opened fire, he was defending trans Congresswoman Sarah McBride. He wrote this in part on X. "Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk." So they're looking into all of these things on social media. As investigators say, it was a targeted attack. That's one thing they know for sure. Sources telling Fox it was a dispute within this family that led to the tragedy. So the gunman shows up, kills his ex-wife and one of his own kids at the hockey game. Police say 3 others are in the hospital fighting for their lives. And there really could have been more people that were killed, but a good Samaritan stepped in and tried to take this gunman down. Watch.
Police were on scene within a minute and a half of that call. A good Samaritan stepped in and interjected in this scene, and that's probably what led to a swift end of this tragic event.
And so what we know right now is that the mayor has said so far, Bill, they've interviewed dozens, maybe more than 100 people. They're going to look at all the different video and piece this together. The question is, how many weapons did this gunman have? We know at least one, and it could have been a lot worse if this other person at the game wouldn't have stepped in and taken that shooter down. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Sure, yeah. All right, there we go. So that's what's happening out there in Pawtucket, Rhode Island with the Transformer. Yet another one shooting up a place. Now, speaking about Transformers and LGBTs and all kinds of wokesters and whatnot, Dave Chappelle, how the mighty have fallen. Dave, I am so disappointed in you, Dave. And I kind of understand you going through your own personal journey trying to figure out yourself. But I think the whole transgender joke drama broke Dave Chappelle. Remember that whole thing? He got in trouble. And I remember one time after that whole controversy, he did a show and there was a Transformer couple or some gay people right in the front row looking dead in his face. 2 white women, or it might have been a man or a woman, or I don't know. But they were right in the front row giving them straight daggers in the eyes like, "We're not amused. We're offended." That kind of stuff, I think it broke him and made it just to the point where now you wouldn't defend Alex Pretty, the guy who got himself deleted after trying to fight Border Patrol agents right after he was trying to fight ICE agents. It's like, bro, you went to this place as a so-called protester, not a protester. You ain't have no sign. You ain't have no message. All you were doing was being a disruptor and trying to start conflict. You started a conflict with ICE agents, roughed you up, and then they left you alone. They could have arrested you because you destroyed the tail light on the vehicle. That's destruction of property with the federal government. That's an arrest right there. See, black folks, we understand the law. We know what the law is. So when we see things like this happen, we like, bro, what are you doing? And not just black folks, Americans, real Americans who are out here and we do things. We know what the law is. We know you can't do stuff like that. So we're not going to be out here giving you flowers and whatnot. But when you've been broken and you are vulnerable to people with their sob story, you may do things like this. And again, this is Dave Chappelle giving flowers to the Alex Pretty Memorial out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Check it out. All right, Dave. So you came all the way from Ohio to do this, or wherever you came from, just to go out there with some flowers and then just stay around? I don't know, man. Dave. You know, I really enjoy your comedy. I really enjoy what you have done. And I think that you can get out of this little phase you're in right now and get back to some real good stuff. But my advice to Dave would be to stay away from politics. Okay? You joke about a lot of stuff already. Don't get caught up in what we get caught up in. You just focus on what you're supposed to focus on, because the political stuff, you're not really good. If you want to continue with politics, I suggest you get more than one point of view. Don't just get one point of view on the Alex Pretty thing. Get all points of view. Get all the facts, all the information. Don't just watch MSNBC and believe whatever they tell you, because they will tell you will lie straight to your face with a smile. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I got one more Transformer situation. Did you know that you could have a cycle if you are a transgender woman, which means you are a biological male, born a boy, but you can still have a cycle as a woman has, according to this fellow here. Check him out. Let's get a little bit of sound, that'll help, and let it rock.
Fun fact, trans women also get periods.
Really?
Yes.
You get a period?
Yes. I get monthly cycles.
You get monthly cycles?
Yep.
So the lining of your uterine wall is falling apart and draining. Your uterine wall.
See, this is the fun part. Due to not having a uterus, the weird part is I still get the cramps, but I just don't get the.
Are you sure it's just not from Lupron messing with your body?
Oh, what?
I said, are you sure it's just not the Lupron messing with your body?
Oh, no, it's an actual.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I got the full on like emotional cycles and everything.
Yeah, but you're saying you have a period though.
I do, yes.
But you don't have any blood leaving you. There's no thinning of the uterine lining, which is what a period is. And some of the results of a period are cramping.
Yes.
So you have similar symptoms to a period,
yeah.
But you don't have the period at all. You have no period because you're a man.
Fun fact.
I mean, this is pretty much common sense. Now, look, it's disrespectful to women to say something like this, because I cannot understand what women go through on a monthly cycle. I have no idea. I can empathize to the best of my ability, but I have no way of being able to understand how that feels. I have no way to know what it's like to actually bleed for a certain period of time in the month. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to have cramps, to have PMS or anything like that. I don't know. To have a baby, I would never, ever in my life experience having a baby. It's not going to happen. How can I actually know how that feels? How can I know what it is to be pregnant? How can I know what it is to be a woman if I'm not a woman? All I can do is just guess. I can read a book. I can ask a woman and she can tell me, but I can't feel it for myself. The same way they can't feel being a man, because guess what? We're different people. We're not the same. We're both human beings. Okay, we're of the same species, but we are not the same. And it's okay to say that. Men are different from women. Now, some are going to take that as saying that men are superior. Nah, it's not about superior or inferior. It's about we're different. It's like yin and yang. It's one half to the whole. Okay, that's just what it is. But one half ain't the same as the other half in a variety of ways. That's all. So no, sir, you don't get a period. You don't get your cycle. You on these drugs that got your mind messed up. And you better be careful, because we see what happens when some of y'all get on them drugs and get a little bit too crazy. You want to go get shooty and stabby. And we can't have that in 2026. Hey, man, El Salvador, Alligator Alcatraz, you got to get up out of here immediately. Hey, you got to get up out of here immediately. Now, let's keep moving. Now, I know we have Black History Month, and I want to show you guys an older video as a warning. As a suggestion, really not a warning. I don't want to make it be like it's a threat, but I'm suggesting, please, please, please don't do this. What this one, don't do what's happening in this video. I beg you.
Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of Black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, now look, if you want to partake in Black culture and be around Black people, that's totally fine. It's okay. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome to come hang out with us. It's totally fine. It's all right. You are, what they say, invited to the cookout. It's all good. But you don't gotta do all this now. I ain't letting no dude equally bald-headed and gray as me putting no chains on my wrist. We ain't doing that, bro. We gonna be squabbling outside for us to do something like that. Hey, if Miss Louise from the cookout is up there like that, I'm gonna be like, bro, man, come on, don't do that to this lady, man. And don't do it to yourself. Anybody, white, Black, whatever, please don't do something like that. Shackles, bro. We got to get beyond that narrative, man. It's 2026. We got to keep going forward. We don't got time to be living in the past because that's not going to help anybody go forward. If you're always in the past, how are you going to live for the now and how are you going to progress into the future? You're always going to be stuck in the past. It's guys I knew from back in the day, back when I first became conservative, who were hating back then, and they still hating now, and they still in the same position in life. It's like, bro, it's been 11 years. It's been 10 years. You still right there in that same place hating. It's pretty pathetic, but whatever. But that's what I say. You can't move forward if you're still stuck in the past. You got to press forward. You can remember the past, sure. You can learn from it, but trying to put shackles on yourself to relive it, don't nobody got time for that. Now, this was crazy. This is from Uncensored America. Shout out to them. They have Myron Gaines. All right. He's doing like a campus tour, speaking to college kids like Charlie Kirk did. Now, some idiot want to try to go viral and do something crazy. Now, nothing happened. So trigger warning, nothing happened here. It's okay. But he was just trying to be funny, trying to go viral. Hey, bro, y'all trying to be funny so much, trying to go viral so much, you might mess around and die on stream. Hey, you're trying to go viral so much, you might mess around and die on live stream. And I don't want that for y'all, okay? I want you guys to be able to enjoy social media, to enjoy making content, to enjoy your life. Don't get deleted over a joke, okay? Let's watch.
Myron Baines, this is my biggest dream to come see you. So I wanted to ask you a quick question real quick. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? My notes. I'm pulling up my notes.
Nah, man, nah. You gotta chill out.
Okay, my bad,
out, bro.
So
what's wrong with you?
Okay,
bro?
no, I was about to ask you a question, fam. Myron.
So you see what he was trying to do. I'm gonna just play it so you can see what's going on. So he's trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna go in my book bag and pull something out. You see, people are reacting. Yeah, we're doing the same thing because I don't know what you got going on. I don't know if you're trying to play a game. We just saw Charlie get killed on camera. We saw my friend Charlie get killed on camera. You doing something like that, bro? I spoke to myself. Because I don't know what's going on. And luckily, we could tell that he was just trying to play because it was police there armed, ready to go ahead and do that if they had to. Because we've already seen this happen before. We just saw it. It was just last year. You playing too many games. You trying to go viral. You trying to be funny. Lucky you ain't die. See? All of that right there. And to those who just standing around looking, y'all have no survival skills. Because, yes, he could have been playing. It probably was a joke. But I don't know that. I don't know that. Hey, and this dude right here that I'm with, he don't know that either. Hey, but my security, he don't know that. My security, all I know is I got to protect ABL. So if you're doing something like that, it might not be me that get you. It might be him that get you. And it's not his fault because you're the one that provoked him. Anyway, hey, that's my PSA to you young guys out there and the old guys. Some of y'all trying to be funny on the internet. That's my PSA. Please don't do stuff like that. Please don't play around like that because you can lose your life and it won't take much time. You do that, and within 1 second, somebody pulls something out and you dead. So, yeah, be careful out here in these streets. Okay. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, let's take a look here. Hold on, let's take a look. There's one video I wanted you guys to see. All right. So we have Black History Month. Will it make a difference to those who say Black Lives Matter and we love Black people? Are you able just to do whatever you want as a Black person because some white folks said you can? Let's check this out right quick.
I asked all these white folks here in Men's Show, it was like packed. This whole place was packed. We all on this long ass waiting list. I asked them all, I said, yo, it's February, reparations. Can the Black brothers, you know, I'm here with Frank Stickles. I'm like, yo, can the brothers get in here and get some Men's Show, get to the head of the line for February? You know how many people say, I was like, yo, raise your hand if y'all are down to let the Black brothers get in line. And only one person with the dyed red hair, the cool sister in the back, said it was cool. All these people typed in Black Lives Matter. Apparently, I don't know, but you know, you try to get your reparations back by any means necessary.
Listen, they're not going to do anything for you. They're going to say that they love Black people, reparations, all this kind of stuff, but it's just words. You're just being polite. It's like what they say with the migrants. Okay, yes, allow all the migrants to come in. Yes, let them come in. Okay. They'll say that, but then when it comes time to actually let them in and they say, hey, they do a street interview. Hey, can you take some migrants to stay with you? Can you have them in your house? Exactly. Now you want to start hemming and hawing when reality hits. The same way you out there talking about, can I get to the front? They ain't going to say that. Get to the front. You better wait your turn, idiot. Wait your turn. I ain't letting you get to the front. But yeah, Black Lives Matter. I'm going to say that, but you're not going to be able to cut in front of me. We're not going to have that. Okay.
So I've been
now, this is about the job crisis. Okay. I gave you guys some numbers earlier. Let me give you some numbers again. In 2020, the white workforce participation rate was higher than the Black workforce participation rate. I think it was 63 or so, right around that for whites and about 60 for Blacks. And now it's like 63 point something for Blacks and a little bit less for whites. In other words, the black workforce participation rate was lower than the white rate in 2020, but it's higher now. Now, I'm not saying anything other than if you want a job, you got to go out there and get in the workforce. If you want to work, you got to be out there looking for work. And one of the best ways to free up some jobs is to get rid of the illegal aliens. So if you're trying to work, you're trying to get a job, you should be on the conservative side, in my humble opinion. Okay, let's watch this right quick about someone trying to look for a job.
Trying to find a pretty steady job for a while. I got wrongfully terminated back in October, and it's been a struggle ever since. Tell me why. I Googled jobs, like full-time jobs in my area and surrounding areas with my bachelor's degree in psychology, which the options are very limited to begin with. But let me just show you, ICE is not slick. They be trying to slip themselves in there. Like, I'm just scrolling through, right? Looking at jobs. They're all pretty fitting. And then we get down here and it's like, bam! Like, they really thought they were slick, slipping that shit in there. Like, fuck you. So I've been trying.
Now, look, you know what? That might be a good job because if all the other jobs ain't calling you back, why you want to do something like that? Why not? Why not? Oh, you're against ICE. Oh, okay. But it's a job that's available. They got pretty good pay. Okay. I would enjoy being an ICE agent if I was a young guy. I can get out there and be Usain Bolt. Hey, man, I'll be out there fast. If I'm 22 years old, I'll hawk you down on them streets. Hey, you ain't getting away from me. The illegal aliens ain't going to be able to outrun me. I'll be the Black Lightning out there. I'll be the Flash out there getting them illegal aliens running it up. Hey, get me a horse, man, please. I'll be out there like a cowboy or a vaquero. Shout out to AOC. Now, if you want to work, you got to be able to do something. If you want to work for real and get a pretty good wage, you got to do things sometimes that are outside of your comfort zone, like maybe working for ICE, or if you're having a hard time being able to find jobs online, you got to go outside, make connections. One of the ways I was able to be able to make it and do something about my life was through the connections I had. The whole going online and trying to find jobs, I mean, that can work, I suppose. I'm not trying to down that, but sometimes you got to go out there and pound the pavement. You gotta be outside, talking to people, making connections, making friends, because they can often help you. My first job I got, my old country buffet job, my friend Matt put me on. Shout out to Matt. He put me on that job. And my other job before that, my friend Sid put me on. Shout out to Sid. So I had high school friends that put me on my first jobs. And then as I got older, I met new people in college, in the street, family members, friends, who I was able to lean on to help me get started with what I had going on. Same thing with my YouTube. When I first got started, okay, I was on Facebook at first, way back in the day. Shout out to you guys who were there back in like 2014 when I was streaming on Facebook. Now, when I first started streaming, I had like, and my stream might have been 5. It was the I Showed Speed. So I got 1 good viewer, and then it became 5, and then it became 10. But you got to start somewhere, and you got to be proactive to make things happen rather than just going on your phone or your computer trying to scroll. That might not be enough. If it ain't working, figure something else out. That's my advice to you guys who are job searching. And again, ICE might not be a bad deal. You might enjoy it. Or go into the military. Figure it out that way. All right. You might go to a little, like it ain't going to be no Iraq thing going on. If you go to war, you might go to Iran and just be like a chef or, you know what I mean? A nurse or something like that. You'd be all right. You're not going to be out there in the front line. Anyway, let's keep rocking and rolling here. That's right, Nachi. Nachi says all of my jobs are through referrals. Exactly. Networking. That's right, Slim. Networking. Sometimes you got to do that. And it's okay. Now, I thought that illegal aliens did not get health care. That's what I thought. I thought illegal aliens didn't get health care. If that's the case, then why are people out there protesting for illegal aliens to get health care? Make it make sense. Okay, let's watch. And you see what the sign says right here? Care should not ask for papers. Very interesting. Let's keep on going. Okay, so some organization, some non-governmental organization, some grifting organization. ABL, you're a black conservative grifter. I know your game. I know what you do. You're just a white apologist. How you make money. Meanwhile, groups like this get millions of dollars, billions of dollars. It's a whole industry where people are paying these people to go out there and do stuff like that. Because where was this protest before? I've never seen this protest. We're talking about illegal aliens getting health care. So why is it all of a sudden happening now? Oh, because you got this organization putting that money behind it. Hey, you got this organization putting that money behind them, put them in the pocket. That's why they got there talking about give illegal aliens health care. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But I'm the grifter. Oh, okay. Let's keep going here. Now, this video was hilarious. These two young ladies are asked, hey, what is the best country in the world? They answer, the problem is they're in America and they didn't say America. Okay, let's check it out right quick. What is the best? Let me get some sound. Pardon me for the sound being off like that. Good grief, that sound is so bad. Oh, my Lord. I'm so sorry.
What is the best country in the world?
What is the what?
What is the best country in the world?
Mexico, definitely for sure Mexico.
Mexico?
Mexico.
Oh, okay, I got it. Hold on. Okay, I was like, what's going on? It just got turned down. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to fix this.
So what do you think?
All right, there we go.
What is the best country in the world?
What is the what?
What is the best country in the world?
Mexico, definitely for sure Mexico.
Mexico?
Mexico.
So why do you think these people don't want to go back?
I think it's because we sacrifice a lot to be here, and we all want people to come in the right way as well, but things are better over here in America, and they're gonna try their best to be here.
Well, you just said Mexico's the best country in the world.
It is, but I think that I'm sorry.
What is the best country?
Okay, so shout out to the young ladies being brave enough to go interview and speak off the cuff. But he asked you, what's the best country in the world? You guys said Mexico. So why are so many people not wanting to go back to Mexico and they want to stay in America? You said it's better over here in America. So which is it? Is Mexico the best or is America the best? I'm trying to understand because right now I'm a little bit lost. I don't know what you are trying to say there. I think you really want to say that USA is the best. Now, you may love Mexico, and shout out to Mexico. Okay, shout out to avocados and tortillas and chili con queso, all that good stuff. Shout out to the vaqueros. Shout out to the rancheros. Shout out to the corrido music, all of that. Hey, great people. I love y'all culture. Pretty women, nice colors on your jerseys. But everyone in this world knows the USA is the best country on planet Earth, period. Period. And if we're not the best country, then why does everybody want to come here? If we're not the best country, why does everybody want to come here? Why does everybody want to leave their country behind and stay in the United States? Because they all know it's the best. It is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. Now, this guy has fully embraced becoming a Canadian. He doesn't want to be American anymore. He's actually leaving. He's one of these guys that say, you know what, if Trump left, well, I don't know if he said that. He's a kind of guy who would say, if Trump becomes the president, I'm going to Canada. Now, I have questions. Why not Jamaica? They speak English there. It's not that far away. Why not Trinidad? Why not somewhere in the Caribbean? Why not that? Now, what's in Mexico? You could go there, but you don't pick it at panty. Okay, I get it. They speak English perfectly well in Jamaica, perfectly well. They speak it in all like the Caribbean for the most part, beyond Haiti, Dominican Republic. So why you don't go there, or a place in Africa where they speak English like Nigeria? Why you don't go there, but you go to Canada? Interesting, but I digress.
You're gonna go into that building an American, and you're gonna come out a Canadian.
I'm gonna go into that building an American, and I'm gonna come out a Canadian.
Ellen and Bandit. Theodore! Alright, big smiles everyone, smile here. Hello. How does it feel to be Canadian?
It feels great. I feel like instantly changed. You know, on the drive home, I was letting everyone in front of me, and then we went to go get lunch, and it was completely crowded, so I was like, I'll come back. And I just, I've fully embraced being a Canadian already.
You're gonna go.
All right, there we go. So shout out to him. Okay, first of all, nice hair. I got hair envy because I got the bald head. You know, I'm Nook Dud over here. You got nice hair going on. Okay, but why be a Canadian? What's wrong with the USA? Do you think that it'd be better in Canada? And shout out to Canada. Nothing against you guys. Shout out to you guys who are watching. All right. Shout out to the great whites north. Shout out to my guy from the Earning 24 podcast. You might have seen that clip I put out about Trump being the first black president. Yeah, he's from Canada, but he's Iranian. Shout out to the Iranians. Hey, Iran, help is on the way. That boat is coming. So get ready for that. That'll be a news story pretty soon. So you heard it here first. But anyway, shout out to the Canadians, but why would you leave? Everyone is trying to come here. You're going the wrong way. It's like, you know, it's like, you ever seen a hurricane evacuation? One side of the interstate is going to be completely packed and the other side going to be empty. You on the empty side. Everybody is leaving the hurricane. They're leaving the areas where you know, they're coming to America. But I guess Canada close enough. America Junior, America Part 2, America the sequel, America Little Brother, America the Border Town. That's Canada. But shout out to my Canadians. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let's keep going here. Now, this is going to be Don Lemon talking about, oh, hold on. Before I go to Don Lemon, I want to show you guys something about the unemployment issue, because I did talk about that. The workforce, I'm going to get this right. I'm going to say it perfectly. The workforce participation rate, okay? So I asked Twitter's AI, which is called Grok. And by the way, Grok is a great AI. It's not woke. And I pay for Twitter for reasons, because it helps me a lot with what I do professionally. But I'm not sure if it's free with Twitter. With the unpaid version, I'm not sure. But I love Grok. Grok is great. It's a great tool for me to use. My articles are written by Grok, and I'm just an editor. So when I write my articles for my website, I just type in the prompt and then they give me an article. I'll change it, adjust it, however I need to. And you can see the prompt I gave it. Please compare the white, black, and Hispanic workforce participation rates from 2020 to 2026 in the USA. That was my prompt. And what it did was give me this right here. It gave me a chart, a little article, paragraph, everything. So you can see what it is right here. Let's look at it, because people are talking about, oh, black folks are not employed more than we were before and Trump's not helping. Let's look at it. So in 2020, the white rate was 61.8 and the black rate was 60.5. Now, Hispanics are always going to be higher. A lot of that is because they often have a stronger work ethic, and there's also illegal aliens. And illegal aliens are going to get preferential treatment over American citizens. It don't matter if they're Hispanic, if they are another non-American black, like a Haitian or an African, they're going to always be prioritized because they're cheaper. That's the bottom line. So a lot of that is going to bolster the Hispanic number. But you can see what the number is. Again, we're going to compare black and white. 61.8 for the white in 2020 and 60.5 for the black American. Let's go forward, 2024, which is the most recent number they have here. 63 on the dot for black Americans and 62.2 for white Americans. So it eclipsed that of white Americans. This is the workforce participation rate. The black rate has increased to beyond the white rate, although it's still below the Hispanic rate, which is also increased. Okay, it's also increased. Everyone has increased, but some at slower numbers than others. We gained about 2.5%, but the whites did not gain that much. And the Hispanics gained about that same amount, probably a little bit less than us. All right. So that's what's happening in reality in this country. Food for thought. Food for thought. Okay. Let's keep on going. Now here's Don Lemon doing his normal thing, talking about white guys being violent, although he's married to a white man. Make that make sense.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you. White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me? I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
Bro, there's so much wrong with that. Hold on, let me come back, bro. Don Lemon, you talking about the white man always committing violence, the first of violence. Meanwhile, you married to a white man. Okay, and then those who were deleted, shot, killed out there in Minnesota, you talking about white folks acting the fool. Okay, Rachel No Code Good trying to hit an ICE officer with a car. She get eliminated. She get wiped off the map. Put in the dirt. Same thing. Alex Pretty. You want to fight ICE agents. Okay. Like what's going on. Talk about guys on your side of the aisle. Because you're talking about like the white conservative, like, the MAGA. That's what you want to focus on. Donald Trump and the MAGA. When really it's your people on your side. Talk to your people specifically. Don't just say white. Talk about your liberals, your white liberals, your black liberals, like you right in the church, which was disgusting. Don Lemon, how you gonna rate a church, bro? A church? Really? You right in the church? Is that what we do in 2026? Have we descended so low with our morality and standards for common decency that we rate a church on a Sunday morning? You got to be ashamed of yourself, bro. But hey, keep on holding on to the lie about the white man. Hey, hold on to that for as long as you want. When you go to the penitentiary, you're gonna wish you had a white man to come save you, for real. But anyway, let's keep rocking. So here's our guy Marco. Our guy Marco, my guy Marco. Again, I'm the president of the Marco Rubio fan club, big fan of his. Oh, before I get to Marco, I got a video. I almost forgot. I'm kind of out of order here, but I wanted to play this video. Speaking about the white man, the white liberal being violent, getting in the way, acting the fool. Oh, we got a protest video. Now, this was hilarious. Now, I've often said before, at these protests, you're going to have the tank out front. Okay, the tank's out front, and we got a nice big tank. And I don't know what gender that is. I have no idea. But I guess this is a genderless option. You got the M1 Abrams tank. Okay, tanks have no gender, as this tank has no gender. But let's watch. All right, there we go. That appears to be Washington, D.C. I can't tell where that is, but that's a very interesting crowd of people. We see all the blue hair, green hair, purple hair. You got some interesting hats, an umbrella for no reason, with no rain, no sun, no nothing, just an umbrella on GP. The tanks out front, the infantry, smaller troops toward the back. All right, there we go. So my question is, where are they actually going? Are they going to a Starbucks? Is that going how are they going to conclude the march? With a trip to Starbucks? Is that what we're doing? So yeah, shout out to them. These people, they, in their mind, may think they mean well, but really all they do is just get in the way. And I wonder if they're being paid. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are being paid to be out here this kind of way. Although I see a lot of homemade signs, not a whole lot of manufacturer stuff, except for this right here. Okay, you got some stuff right here. That's obviously paid for. So, but beyond that, just out here, just enjoying the vibes. Okay, enjoying the vibes, not working in the middle of the daytime. Back to that workforce participation rate. You have a much lower rate, or a rate that is not climbing the way it should, because people get all kind of time. They being incentivized by these groups, sometimes by these government benefits, to do nothing but go outside and just act a fool and protest. All right. Yeah, they get free comes at the protest. I bet they do. They probably get some more stuff than that. They probably get free crazy drugs, big drugs at the protest. Now, let's go to my guy Marco, who, again, I want Marco to be the president of the USA at some point. If it's not 2028, then so be it. But I would prefer 2028. But let's watch his speech at some of the Munich G7 Security Conference speech. And then we're going to hear AOC give her big-brained 1,000 IQ response. Let's watch. Let's get some sound that might help. And RIP in advance to the headphone users.
Our expansion into the interior followed the footsteps of French fur traders and explorers, whose names, by the way, still adorn the street signs and town names all across the Mississippi Valley. Our horses, our ranches, our rodeos, the entire romance of the cowboy archetype that became synonymous with the American West. These were born in Spain. And our largest and most iconic city was named New Amsterdam before it was named New York. And you know that in the year that my country was founded, Lorenzo and Catalina Giraldi lived in Casal Monferrato in the Kingdom of Piedmont, Sardinia. And Jose and Manuel Arena lived in Sevilla, Spain. I don't know what, if anything, they knew about the 13 colonies which had gained their independence from the British Empire. But here's what I'm certain of. They could have never imagined that 250 years later, one of their direct descendants would be back here today on this continent as the chief diplomat of that infant nation.
Right on. So that's a full circle moment. You are a Spanish descendant, had a big journey to the Americas, to the New World out there in Cuba, and you made it to the mainland USA. Now you're back in Europe in this role. So shout out to Marco Rubio. Okay, again, my favorite right now. My favorite. He was a tad bit dehydrated, but nothing like that whole water bottle incident. We're going to let that go because that's water under the bridge. That's in the past. We ain't going to keep bringing up old stuff, right? The water bottle incident. Now, let's go to AOC reacting to what Rubio said. Now, as I said in my video that you may have seen earlier, Rubio was correct that the Mexican and therefore American cowboy tradition came from Spain because there were no horses here or cows. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. But Spain brought the horses and the cows to the New World, and they brought vaqueros. These are the cowboys from Spain. The gauchos and the lasso and all that is Spanish, which is why the Old West is like that, because that's where Mexico, Mexico was basically Spain. So all of that over there, the West was Spanish. That culture comes from the Spanish that they brought with them. So he was correct. But AOC, the New Yorican, does not understand that for some reason.
Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but
I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to have a word on that. Rubio's.
Okay, AOC, I got a couple of questions. All right, now, who is the country? What country colonized the place now known as Mexico before it was Mexico? What country created Mexico? You want to take a wild guess? A little stab in the dark? It starts with an S and ends with a pain. It's called Spain. They're the ones who made Mexico. So when you say Mexicans, you mean those who were created by the Spanish. That's kind of what that is. You have natives who were there, but they were not cowboys. When the Spanish came, then there became cowboys in that area because they brought their culture with them. If you go to Spain, you're going to see similarities between Spain and Mexico and other Spanish former colonial territories. That's the reality. And Black Americans did not get to the United States or to what is now known as USA until 1619 in Virginia, where I'm from. See, I got here, my family got here in 1619 in Virginia. I got proof to show it. By 1500 in Spain, they already had vaqueros, the cowboys. So how did we invent it? We weren't even here. By the time they were rounding up horses and stuff, we were still in Africa chilling. We weren't even really, it wasn't no horses. We weren't riding no horses or doing no cowboy stuff in Africa. That's not the reality. And we didn't do it in America, or what is now known as America, until the Spanish brought it. It wasn't even no cows or horses in North American continent until the Spanish brought them. Okay, now, here's the whole thing about some geography for you. She says that Venezuela is south of the equator. It is not. And again, like I said in my video, they say that little buzzword, that buzz phrase, that catchphrase, south of the equator, because there's not a lot of history about these nations produced. If you go to Wikipedia, they'll say stuff like, "Oh, we don't have much. We still have holes. We still have holes in the archive of information." For example, the geographic South, we don't have much on them, and that's because of a white Eurocentric perspective. We got to do more to fix that. That's the narrative, right? She repeats that, but it does not apply right here because Venezuela is not south of the equator. But let's watch.
We look at what happened in Venezuela, for example. It is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator. And by the way,
there we go. So they want to applaud because they know that catchphrase, they know that woke line that they should applaud on, but they're not applauding because it's accurate at all. You see how that works? Okay, so shout out to the vaquero, shout out to everybody out there in Spain. Now, would you guys want AOC to run for president? As I said before, I would love AOC to run for president. Please, God, if you can answer one prayer, I got a lot of prayers, but just one of many that I'm going to ask you. Please, 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 please let AOC be Democratic Party's nominee. Amen. Please, because I feel like if you have AOC against anybody on our side, it could be JD Vance, it could be Marco Rubio, who I want, it could be anybody. If you put her up against those guys, she has no chance. It'd be Kamala all over again, Hillary all over again. It'd be a mess. And I'm confident when I say that. Let's watch this.
So when you run for president, are you going to impose a wealth tax or a billionaire's tax?
I don't think that I don't think that anyone, and that we don't have to wait for any one president to impose a wealth tax. I think that it needs to be done expeditiously.
You have the recipe that many Latin American countries applied many times. That is some relief in the short term, but end up being, a tragedy for the future. It's like public expenditure, huge public expenditure, price control, sometimes wealth tax, and you end up the wealth goes away, and you have just the tax, and you don't have wealth anymore. That was something that Peronism did many times. So all these recipes then creates a cycle, no? Then you have this short-term relief, but then goes with inflation, shortage. Then you have more poverty, and this and the cycle goes and goes.
All right, there we go. Shout out to her. Shout out to who was what is going on here? Who is that? Who is this? Is that Maloney? Who is that? All right, man. Y'all, there's a lot going on. But yeah, would you want AOC to run for president as a Democrat? Please do it, because that'd be an easy victory. That'd just be that'd be wiping the floor all day long. All right. Now, that's an Argentinian politician, Diana Fernandez Molero. So she knows what happens with the wealth tax. She understands what's really going on. All right. She gets it. She totally gets it. Now, we got some calls to get to and super chats to get to. The phone number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description box. It'll also be right here in the ticker at a certain point in the video. But first things first, I got super chats on deck, and then I'm going to get to the calls. And shout out to the new viewers as well. I see some of you guys in the chat. Shout out to the new viewers. Hopefully you are enjoying the show. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, I will be live every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live on Instagram every Tuesday. Shout out to you guys who were there in the chat last night on Instagram. This podcast you listen to right now is also an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. A link for that will always be in the description box, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Okay, and again, the Instagram live stream will be a podcast as well. That'll be out on Friday morning. This will be out on Thursday morning. All righty, let's check it out on the super chats. Let me get to the calls. Thank you to Apple, who says, Happy Ash Wednesday to all ABL fans. 40 days to Palm Sunday, then one more week till Easter, April 5th. What y'all giving up for Lent? Hating on libs? That's a good question. I never really did the whole Lent thing. I've always, remember people ask like, "What are you giving up?" I ain't giving up nothing, but I might give up something. We'll see. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. I'm gonna figure something else out to give up. But already, I'm bare bones already. I don't do a whole lot of extra stuff that I shouldn't be doing. All right, thank you to Apple, who says, ABL reaction to President Obama crying over Trump. I'm not sure what you mean there, boss. You talking about the ape reaction? I did that last week, I think. Didn't I? I'm not sure. Thank you to Aaron for becoming an ABL supporter. Brand new. Thank you for that. Thank you to Mauricio, who says, such a pompous F. Best president of my lifetime. There you go. Shout out to Orange Man. Orange Man good. Thank you to Michael, who says, did you acknowledge the God of Abraham as your creator and Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior? I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's happening there. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, ABO, when are those Decepticons going to have symptoms of going to work 40 hours a week? Hey, that's a good question. They got all these symptoms. Oh, I'm a woman. Although I look like Greg Maddux. I look like, a Major League Baseball pitcher in the face, but I'm a woman. Okay, that's cool. But How about feel like a guy that works? How about feeling like going to the job and actually punching the clock or making some kind of money? How about being of use to society rather than being a menace, rather than being a pest or a leech or a nuisance upon us? How about that? You got period symptoms. How about going to work symptoms? How about getting a pair of work boot symptoms? How about doing something for yourself symptoms? How about not being a big back symptoms? Okay, I'm doing too much. Let's keep on going here. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkits for being a long-term member, 24 months, and for the wave and the emoji. Appreciate you for that, Tony Hay Munkits. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, looks like he gets something. I ain't going to read that because we're a family show. Twisted Clown also says Hispanics bring tamales with their applications. All right. Shout out to the Hispanics. All right. Shout out to the culture and the food and the people. As long as you're here legally, hey, you on my side. Shout out to the SAs, the foods, the homes, the West Coast, the Texas, the up north, the Caribbean, Hispanic. Shout out to everybody who's here legally. If you're here illegally, I don't care if you're African, European, Hispanic, Asian, Martian, Venusian. If you're from the moon, if you came from the moon base illegally, you got to go back. Hey, I'm calling ICE. Yo, ICE, I see a Martian right here on the corner of in Midtown Atlanta. You want to come scoop him up? How does he look? His head's real big. Now he ain't Somali. He got gray skin, and he's like 4 foot tall. So come get him. If I see an alien, like a real alien, the big head, hey Arnold, if I see one of them, 1-888-DHS2 ICE. Come get this dude. It's a little green alien right in front of my face. He got some kind of device making me kind of like lose consciousness right now, but I'm not going to lose consciousness, ICE. Come get him. Matter of fact, here go a picture. Psh, that's me. Anyway, shout out to you guys. Get to the phone calls. The number to call again, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And the phone lines are open. Dude says been job searching in person with resumes in hand, and all they say is you have to apply online. Okay, but what are you trying to look for? What are you trying to find? And what I say, when I say go out in the street, it's not just applying in person, but also making the connection, meeting people that could help you get to where you want to go. That's what I did. I made connections, and that helped me get through life. The online job stuff, it wasn't going to work out for me at all. 734 line, who am I speaking to? Hello, 734, you're on the line.
Hey, it's Taisha from Michigan. How you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm well. I just had a quick comment regarding the AOC. That is just entirely embarrassing. For her to show up and represent the United States with an answer like that, I mean, I just had to put my head down. And for the people on CNN, your girl Abby, I don't see how they sit there and defend that. If that was anyone on the right, they literally would have sat there and said they can't even give an answer. How are they supposed to represent the United States? And let it would have been Trump, they would have been replaying that clip, and just replaying it. So it's really embarrassing and sad that we have someone like AOC to represent us. I feel like the students that you have across the United States right now walking out for ICE when they don't even have a goal, they will grow up to be AOC, and we're in trouble.
I agree with you 100% because I can't imagine a world where we got a lot more AOCs. That's not going to be good for us in the future. If she's already in office right now, and that's the best they could do, but if you got 10,000 it's just like that, that's going to be another potential politician in the future.
Exactly. A lot of AOCs, Kamala Harris, it's ridiculous. But that was my only comment tonight I had to call regarding that. I'm glad that Kevin Leary told them that you guys are nuts.
Yeah,
but you have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right, great call. Yeah, I did see that where Kevin O'Leary had came into the chat, gave his remarks on the whole situation for sure. All right, and again, the number to call is 706-406-3287. The phone number is always in the description. It'll also be in the ticker at a certain point as well. Okay. Unknown caller, who am I speaking to?
We will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you.
ABL.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, man. I just want to let everybody know, if anybody in your live chat listening to you tonight lives in Georgia, Donald Trump is coming to Rome.
Oh, wow. When's he coming?
He's coming tomorrow. I sent the email, the information to you about 8 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got the information here for you. Can I read it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, everybody out there, Trump's coming to Coosa Steel Corporation at 98 Darlington Drive, Building D in Rome, Georgia, 30161. So, yeah, man, the doors open up at 12:30, and he speaks at 2 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, man, I was wanting to let you know because I was hoping you'd go down there and I could meet you, so... But anyway, we'll meet up another time if you can't make it. I know it's short notice. I'm sorry you missed the email, but I swear I sent to you about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. Anyway, the midterms, we talked about that last week. I think we're going to win. I really do. And a lot of the conservatives are saying we're going to lose because Trump said historically the sitting president on his second term loses the midterms, and that is true. But, Trump's an anomaly. I mean, he survived an assassination attempt, actually 2 assassination attempts. Tried to throw him in prison for the rest of his life, and with all these lawsuits going against him, and he beat them all. He's the Teflon Don, man. So I think we're going to win the midterms, and I don't believe the propaganda about his poll numbers going down. I think he's becoming more popular and stronger every day. What do you think?
I believe you're right. I don't believe anything that comes out from these people because we've known they are known to be liars.
Of course, that's what leftists do best. And furthermore, why should we believe the polls? I mean, look how wrong they were way back in 2016. They gave Hillary, in a lot of places, a 90% chance of winning when she had more like a 45% chance of winning,
Right.
And this one lady was like, well, how could the polls be this wrong? I'm like, well, it's simple, you moron. It's called lying. That's how propaganda works, So, anyway, I just want to let your callers know. Again, Trump's coming to Coosa Steel Corporation at 98 Darlington Drive in Rome, Georgia, Building D, zip code 30161. Hope to see you there, man. That's all I wanted to tell you tonight, and thanks a lot for taking my call. I'm still Ultramaga. Make America great again. Take care, man.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
All right, great call. So, yeah, Rome, Georgia, that ain't that far away. It's probably like an hour from me right now. So I might be able to swing by. I don't know. I probably won't be able to. It's kind of short notice. But, yeah, that'd be great to go check Trump out in Rome, Georgia. And, Rome, that's the county seat, I think, of Marshall Taylor Greene's district. Very interesting. Let's go 740. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Jeff from West Virginia. It's been a little while, but how you been, ABL?
I've been good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, a little sick here and there, but you can kind of hear my voice tonight. But I was going to say, man, if you want to give up something for Lent, you ought to shave that beard. It looks like powdered donut remnants.
I can't do it.
All right. Enough making fun of Republicans here. Boy, I'll tell you what, that AOC, isn't she cute? She's like a mildly retarded Alexa. I mean, with her facts, she says it so confidently.
She does. She really does.
She's like an Alexa that's been knocked off your table and has a big crack on the side, and you can't replace it until, payday or something. Just hilarious. I do think you missed one story, though. Did you see that Rosie O'Donnell's back in the United States?
Is she really?
Yeah. I was reading an article. The article, and the article that it was in, the article title was Ireland still will not accept American pork products.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, I'm joking, of course, but she is kind of,
little portly, yeah.
That's it. Oh, man, I just thought I'd call in and joke with you for a little bit. And I'll tell you what, it's sad, but Heather Swanson went off. It's like South Park predicted it up in that Rhode Island thing.
Yeah, pretty much, because the aggression is absolutely crazy.
That's the first thing I thought of was that episode. I was like, this is Heather Swanson, man. This is insane. We got to live through this. Well, anyway, I'll let you off here, man. You have a good evening. Keep doing up a good show.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye, buddy.
All right. So shout out to my man. Great caller. Great jokes as always. And shout out to you guys for being here as well. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you are a new person, you're in for the first time, you're trying to call in, keep trying. If it's not picking up the way that it should, if I can't answer you right away because I got one line and it's just me and my mouse, I got like a list over here. If you call in, first come, first serve. All right. And again, the number to call, there it is. Perfect. 706-406-3287. The phone lines are open. All right. And shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. You guys are the best. And what else we got going on? I'm going to read some of these comments before the next call come in. I'm going to read some of these comments. All right. Where we at? Talking about clam chowder, Worldly Wise of the Day. Worldly Wise word of the day, portly. Yeah. Yeah, she's a little portly, for sure. She is. Let's go to 323. You don't lie. How much we get to?
We will make America great again. We will make America great again.
Hi, ABL. How you doing?
I'm doing good. About yourself?
I'm great. I just want to piggyback that last caller's, I don't know his voice, whatever he was doing there, but I got the same thing going. It's amazing how, there's so many people out there who are not trying to do this, I can't imagine all this blue hair, these marches against ICE and talking bad about your own president is trying to do anything except, make America worse again. It's really time to wake up because, like you say, it's midterms, elections, and if we get like some really bad results, it might just be really even more leftist. So hopefully everybody, I doubt the people who are in that camp is going to ever change. I'm not crazy, whatever, but hopefully they can not vote. That's all we can do. Just hopefully they just don't go to the polls. So anyway, that's all I want to say, and thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, I think the midterms would be just fine. And midterm time, you're going to be very busy. Election time, 2024 was crazy. We were slam packed. It'd be the same thing this time. There's so many little subplots and stuff going on right now. It's a lot happening. People being paid to protest, all kind of stuff. So I think that we're going to be very busy this election cycle, but it's going to be worth it in the end. It'll work out well for us because I don't think that the left have an answer to what's happening in the world. They don't have the intelligence. They don't have what we have on the right. So I think that we're going to be just fine for the midterms, despite what they want to say from the old school mainstream media. Let's go to 501. You're online. I'm speaking to.
Yeah, this is Robert.
All righty. What's happening?
Not much. I heard that little comment you made about AOC and her brain. Like, don't be messing with AOC and her smooth brain. But I think that those people that went over to Munich, the Democrats, they sounded really crazy. Like, if you listen to what Hillary Clinton said, it was nuts. And then when she did that panel for the women and, talking about women's rights, but she invited the trans congressperson to talk, like, that makes no sense. And I don't know if she got it, but when the check assistant prime minister or the second prime minister of Czech, when he started talking, you know, I don't think she got that he was talking about her and her bringing that person to talk in the women's forum.
No, of course not, because she's not going to get it, and that's kind of the issue. It's like you're not really understanding what's happening here. You don't understand who's being spoken to. You don't understand what's going on. She shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. I just think all of them, they just sounded crazy. They're bitter, and they're mad at America for whatever reason, and I don't know. They don't have any actual plans to make anything better. All they want to do is give money away, just like Mamdani. Like all the New Yorkers that voted for him, I don't want to hear them complaining about the property tax situation is probably going to happen because they voted for it.
Exactly. But they're going to see what their vote has done in real time. And that's, I guess, a silver lining. If things kind of go badly, they'll see why it went badly. It's because of their vote. Now, hopefully they're going to vote a different way the next time. But sometimes people don't learn. Even when they learn, they don't learn.
I don't think they're going to learn. But then he's also talking about defunding the police. And so, like, I was watching, you know, another person's video, and I wrote in a comment, I was like, hey, if he defund the police, that means that he don't need no police detail to keep him safe. What he needs to do is go get him a social service detail and get them some whistles and some pencils so that they could take notes about what happened.
Exactly. Because if it's like that, it's like, okay, let's defund the police, not just for the citizens, but for you as well. But they don't want to do that. He's going to be protected very well. His street, the Gracie Mansion, will be beautiful. He'll be protected with ironclad security. But the regular citizens, hey man, fend for yourself, but no gun. We don't really want guns, but still defend yourself.
Yeah. When the guy was talking about Rosie O'Donnell came back to America, she said she came back because she wanted to check to see how things are going. Like, why don't you stay over there in Ireland or wherever the heck you were at, the UK, and make it better over there?
Exactly. You got a phone. You could just look at what's happening from over there. You don't got to come over here at all.
Yeah, that's just like, I think Ellen DeGeneres came back over here at one point, and then she's trying to sell her cosmetic product. Like, sell that crap over in Europe.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. You have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go to 520. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony, ABL. This is Marina. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I am doing just fine. I wanted to tell you what a wonderful, wonderful service. And on top of that, I want to tell you, you are doing great explaining some stuff to old people like me. I am 57 years old. I had no idea what you were talking about when it came to the Colbert interview, all of that. So thank you for explaining this to old people like me.
Anytime, you're welcome.
I had to ask you one quick question. When you started on YouTube and you wanted to help people understand a lot of things, what was your main purpose of coming on? And how can I explain that? What was the main purpose of your channel? Yes, let's say your channel. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I first came on, my purpose was, well, what I was trying to do at first was find somebody that I could relate to talking about politics. And I was I was not able to find that person. So I said, okay, I'll just be that person for the next person. And I think I've been able to accomplish my goal to a certain extent.
You sure did. You sure did. Yes. I heard many things you said tonight, and my husband and I, we like you a lot. We really listen to many, many things. Anyway, we are multicultural, and you did something for us. Major. Multicultural. Yes. There's French, there's British, there's North African, there's Italian. There's many things going on in my family, and all my family is completely mixed. I love what you do.
Well, thank you for your support. Thank you for your support and your call. Most certainly appreciate you.
And on a lighter note, that my husband and I laugh every time you come with Nigerian accent. We laugh hard. We laugh hard. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you.
Thank you for your support. Most certainly appreciate you.
Good night.
All right now. Very nice call. Shout out to the caller. Shout out to your husband as well. Shout out to the whole family. I love calls like that. Fantastic. Yeah. I try to just make things make sense. I want it to make sense to me. And when I was coming on YouTube, I couldn't find a guy that I could really just key in with that made it make sense to me. I'm like, I can't relate to this guy. It doesn't make sense. He's not speaking my language. So why don't I be that guy for the next person? And it's worked out pretty well, I would say. I had no idea I could do this. I had no idea. These kids nowadays, they grow up with their phones, and I didn't have a phone like this until I got to be in my 30s. You get kids that's 5 years old to grow up with this. I had no idea you could even really do any of this when I was young. Even in my 30s, I didn't know I could do this until I got to be in my 30s. I had no idea. But I had a motivating, it was a desire, it was a passion, it was a purpose I had. Before YouTube, before anybody even knew who I was really, I was still interested in these things. And I was speaking about it to my friends and family. But I was like, okay, I need a bigger audience, and I want people to really find someone they can relate to. And here I am. 859 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
All right. The combination of Hamia Malay and Anton Levine. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just working, smoking, living it up, and living it high, and living it down, and living it one way or another. I gotta make a dime for some reason, you know, man. Just working and always dashing, man. I was listening to the podcast, man. Recipe for Jesse Jackson, man. And also, thank goodness he was never on the list.
Well, there you go. Right on.
Hey, right on it, man. I was reading through the list, man, and I think everybody needs to boycott Disney, McDonald's, and all these corporations that were involved with the list. It was L brands that were involved with a lot of Emmerich, Cromie, and Fitch, a lot of like stuff in the mall that you see. And I was reading through it, man. It's like there's a lot of corporations, man, that need to have these questions answered. And I was going to ask you, ABL, since I have you on the phone, and I respect your opinion. My question is, and this is the thing is, I'm mad about every administration, not only Trump, but the Obama administration, the Biden administration. Why they did not arrest John Podesta, knowing that the emails and the involvement that he was involved, especially he's connected with Epstein.
Well, I don't know what they would have arrested him on. I don't know the extent of what the crime he actually did or allegedly did was. So I can't really answer that. I have to look into it.
Right. And it's all the emails, like the same stuff you would see from the code words you see from the Epstein files back in 2016. You remember the whole Pizzagate situation. This guy's still walking around, and it's ridiculous that this guy got caught with, like, how many times with CP, man? And he talked about cheese pizza so many times with Epstein and all these other folks and stuff like that. There's no justice. It seems kind of crazy that the pilot of Epstein has got arrested in Brazil. And the scary part is he lives in my hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. That's frightening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy world.
And also, I think it was Kentucky. How many times Kentucky was mentioned in the Epstein files? A lot. I think it was like 300 plus times. The original pilot for Epstein was from Lexington, Kentucky. He was arrested in Brazil, and I think a lot of the arrests it's crazy. A lot of the arrests are not coming through, and I think a lot of people, and even me and Trump supporting people who are listening, we just want justice that we see fit. We see a lot of these emails, even with celebrities, that are quite questionable, and nobody's answered these questions. Like people like Elon Musk and stuff like that. And I really hope this administration really puts in the work and try to get these predators and stuff like that. Because I'm going to be honest with you, ICE is doing a good job over my neck of the woods, getting the local politicians nervous because they're in some dirt water and some dirt recently that I'm dealing with. But I appreciate you taking my phone call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. I'm going to hit the 420 and give some deliveries. Thank you very much. See you guys later. All right.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's go to 215 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Okay, can you hear me loud and clear?
I hear you well.
Okay, so it's funny. I've been looking into New York and looking at Zohran Mamdani, and it's kind of ironic because they said the reason why they voted for him is because we have an affordability crisis, and all he had to do was preach to them, free this, free that, free this. And now it's looking like half of his promises he can't even fulfill. And to come to find out, I guess his mother was associated with Epstein. So now people are turning against him. And it's like most of his promises, they're coming to find out he can't even fulfill half of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's some stuff out there,
Yeah. And what I'm looking is like, people got to remember New York alone is just expensive in general. I mean, it's the capital. It's like the Big Apple, the biggest city in the United States of America. So it's going to be expensive.
But the thing about it is there's other expensive places in this country. Like the thing about New York, okay, look at the population. You have, what's that, like 8.5 or so million people compared to the state of Florida. It's like 20 or so million people. Let me get the exact numbers here. I don't have time right now, but here it is. 8.5 million in New York City, 23 million in the state of Florida, but the New York City budget is more than the state of Florida's budget. It's like, that don't even make no sense because of the population. It's a lot of people, yes, in New York City, but not as many as Florida.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic, the fact that once he said free, 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 and then all people here, they just jump on board. Oh, free, free this, free that. And when I get in debates about people about this, it's like, that they're going to raise taxes. They're going to raise taxes on the rich. I said, no, they're going to raise taxes on everybody, including the rich, because the government's going to collect his taxes no matter what. And God forbid, say if it comes on, they're going to raise state taxes. Okay. We'll say if some of them rich people get up and move away, you think they're still going to stop collecting taxes? No.
Nope. Still don't keep getting taxes. So people just don't really know. Like I was saying before, people have to sometimes learn the hard way. They got to experience somebody that is a bad candidate when they get in office. And then once they experience this person, maybe they'll learn. But sometimes they refuse to learn. They're going to keep doubling down, just like the concept of communism. It has always failed. It never works. People still want it for some reason.
Well, yeah. Well, one thing I've learned about socialism and communism, the main people who want it is the ones who never lived through it.
That's right.
Yeah. And those countries that are communist and socialist, they'll never actually go to them. But you know what's funny? They'll accuse those countries of being capitalist.
I mean, the capitalist places are where everybody wants to go.
Exactly. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL. I don't want to be too long because I know you got to wrap up your show.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. You have a good night.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, the New York City budget, they got to go ahead and, reduce that a little bit, They gotta reduce that. That budget is they're spending too much money. They can't afford it. And all they're gonna do ultimately is squeeze out. They're gonna run away the rich, squeeze out the middle, and all that will be left are the ones who don't really contribute as much as the people that have the money. And the people that have the money, it'd be the lower, what it say, like the 47% that Mitt Romney said, it'd be them. The middle The people that got, some things going on, they're going to be squeezed out. They're going to be just out of commission, and then the rich will leave. It's a recipe for disaster all the way around. Okay, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Hold on. I'm going to end the calls right now. It's past 11 o'clock. I got a video I want to show you. I'm going to show it again on next stream. I'm going to show this video next stream. I'm giving you a preview of the next stream, okay? But this video is going crazy, dumb viral, in my humble opinion, all over the place. You guys got to watch it. This is an award-winning performance. If you stayed to the end of the show, I'm going to give you a treat for your patience. And shout out to all 628 of you in here right now. Let me give you this last video before we wrap it on up, put the bow on top. And shout out to you guys again for being here. I appreciate y'all for joining. You guys are the best. Give me 1 second to find it, and then we're going to load it up. There we go. Perfect. Okay. This is how we are treated by the Democratic Party, okay? This is how we are treated by the Democratic Party. All right. And let's throw it on the screen.
What you got there, Gail? Oh, I uses them to clean the windows, sir. You thought I was reading these fancy papers? Oh, no, sir. I know you's got to tell me how to think, sir. I knows better not to read this. And I remember you told me if I don't do what you told me to do, that means I ain't black. And I's just as black as the day is long, sir. Yes, indeed. You been using them words we taught you. Oh, yes, sir. I uses them words loud, proud, and strong. Anytime one of them highfalutin Negroes come around here telling me to read some kind of fancy paper for myself, I calls them coon and bootlickers. I sure do, sir. And the rest of them around this plantation, they've been saying another word. They said sellout. I know you ain't teach it to me, sir, but it sounded awful fancy, so I decided to use it for myself. I got some new words. Oh, yes, sir. I was learning real good. What is this, sir? It's dictator, fascist, and Nazi. Oh, okay. Dictator. Fascist. Nazi. Okay, sir. Right. Those sound awful fancy, sir. What they mean? Don't matter what they mean. You right, sir. You right, sir. Pardon. I gets ahead of myself. I know that I shouldn't have asked you nothing. I know that you tell me what's best, sir. Don't matter what they mean. Just matters that you told me to say them, and I got to learn them real good. Yes, sir. You got them leftovers? Oh, yes, sir. We got them leftovers. We sure mighty obliged for them, sir. Yeah, Overseer Crockett, Overseer Obama, and Overseer Waters told us you sent them, sir. Because we wouldn't be able to get by without your handouts and your programs, so we can't do it on our own. And they make sure they remind us of that, sir. Yes, indeed, they do. We got some more leftovers coming, on the first? Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir, because they even told us, they talking about we got to get some identification, and we knows we can't do that on our own. We's not smart enough. We need you. That's right. That's right, sir. I appreciate you for dropping by here, letting us know that you're still thinking about us, sir. All right. Awful good. All right, sir. Thank you for dropping by. Okay. Look away, Dixieland.
All right. Hey, that right there was so good. That was fantastic. An award-winning performance. Give her the Oscar, the Grammy, the Golden Globe, the Pulitzer, whatever you got to do, because that is the exact way that we are treated by the Democratic Party. That is the exact way we are treated. Hold on, let me get her a better freeze frame. That is the exact way we are treated by the Democratic Party, as if we still in slavery. Because let's not forget, the Democratic Party was a party of slavery. It was the Republicans who were the party of abolitionists, of anti-slavery. The first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. And what did he do? He freed the slaves. You could squabble about why he did it or he didn't want to do it and this and that and the third. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, he did it. He did it. And the Democrats have been furious ever since. And that was all the way back in 1863 and 65. It was complete. And they killed him for it. The Democratic Party has not changed. All they've done is been able to convince some of us that they are for us. Maybe back in the day when you were on the plantation and it was illegal for you to leave the plantation, that was your only salvation other than just trying to run away and try to figure out a way that way. That was your only salvation, but slavery been over with. We're free. We can do whatever we want now. So shout out to her. This was fantastic. And if you guys want to follow her, she is Key Benet. That's KEIBENET on the Twitters. Matter of fact, let me just show you right here so you can see it. Okay, let me just do this. You can see her name right there. KEIBENET, Key Benet. All right. So you guys follow her on the Twitter, follow her on all social media platforms. All righty. Now, that'd be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you heard so far, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You guys know this is an audio streaming platform as well. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just search on your favorite audio streaming platform, ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Alrighty, I believe I got everybody. I believe I got all of the supers. Let me just make sure that I did. Yep, I got everybody. So that'll pretty much be a wrap for me. You guys are fantastic. Shout out to everybody that's been watching for a long time, a little time, newcomer. Everybody, I appreciate y'all. And if you don't know, I'll be live again on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live on Instagram every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I put out content each and every day on my platforms, on the YouTubes, on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, sometimes occasionally TikTok when they're not being soft and they let me post. All right. That's pretty much a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling. Thank you to everybody that watched for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.